Went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted. Not available in Washington State.
Get C&J's 6-point well inspection for the low price of only $285. And if you book now, you get double value from it because that $285 can also be used as a credit towards any other purchase above $900 for things like well cleaning, pump replacement, tank installation, or a new hydrant. This is Denny Smith, and you need to get this winter special before the season's in deep freeze. Just call C&J. Great systems and great people, too. 317-852-WELL. That's 317-852-WELL.
Countless accidents.
Another update is just minutes away.
1,300 flight cancellations. Washington, D.C. could get a foot of snow.
Get the facts.
Somebody crashes on a snow-covered road.
Not just the talking points.
It's not the snow's fault. It's the way they were driving.
Hundreds of accidents.
On the level.
Road conditions deteriorating.
On the go.
Many of our roads are drifted shut.
Closings and delays.
We could get an additional 2 or 3 inches.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Hey, this is Rob. Hope you have a great weekend. If we survive Snowmageddon, Casey and I'll see you Monday, 9 to noon, 93 WIBC.
You can trust your flush to us. Howald Plumbers are the best in the business. Water heaters, leaky faucets or toilets, sump pumps, drain lines. Howald Plumbers keep water flowing. Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, where coming home never felt so good.
B is offering 1 bath remodel for as low as $99 a month or get 2 bath remodels for as low as $249 a month. Call now to schedule that free in-home design consultation.
Hammer and Nigel show. Man, what a weekend. The latest on the weather, the biggest stories in Indy, and it's Monday Gun Day. 93 WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes, as you can probably tell, the snow has been wreaking havoc all across your morning commute, plus what the governor has to say for the next administration. And John Herrick reports on the status quo remaining the same along West 56th Street. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 9 o'clock.
Snow and ice from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's affecting 60 million people.
A lot of Americans trying to restart work and school today. Well, here in Philadelphia, we get an extra day of winter break. Schools are closed.
And they're closed in many areas, from Kansas to Virginia, with about 300,000 power outages. And Fox Weather's Britta Merwin also reports Washington's getting it bad, too.
In D.C., a snow emergency has been called. Could be the biggest snowstorm they've seen in D.C. in years.
And there are almost 1,500 flights canceled nationwide. And despite the storm in Washington, Congress will gather in a special session to certify the Trump election victory 4 years after the Capitol riot when Trump supporters tried to block the Biden election win. The president-elect has called what happened a day of love. Despite about 1,600 people facing criminal charges, he has suggested he might pardon some. Democratic Senator Adam Schiff tells NBC's Meet the Press if Trump does that,
he will begin his new administration the way he ended his last administration, and that is by celebrating violence against our democracy.
President Biden has just issued a new ban on more offshore oil and gas drilling off the entire East Coast and parts of the Pacific and the Gulf of Mexico to preserve 625 million acres of ocean. Incoming Trump White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox this is the work of Biden environmental extremists
who don't care about what's in the best interest of the American people who just reelected President Trump with a resounding mandate to drill, baby, drill.
Today, President Biden goes to New Orleans to meet with victims' families from the New Year's Day terror attack, saying at a gathering in Washington, greeting new members of Congress.
My message is going to be personal to them if I get to get them alone. They just have to hang on to each other.
14 people were killed in that attack. The Biden administration is being sued this morning by Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel, trying to rekindle their $15 billion merger that the president blocked last week, not allowing the Japanese company to buy the American steelmaker. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Much ado about winter weather. A winter storm warning still out for much of the area. Snow all over radar, 21 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. And the snow has been falling since midday Sunday for most of Indiana, anywhere from 6 inches to a foot of snow in some places. This, of course, means some terrible travel conditions and leading to crashes.
People are just going too fast, and that's what it comes down to. when somebody crashes on a snow-covered road, they're quick to blame the snow, and it's not the snow's fault. It's the way they were driving.
Sergeant John Perrine with Indiana State Police. Forecasters say that the snow will begin letting up about the middle to late afternoon. A person shot near Brownsburg overnight. It was not far from the Marion Hendricks County line. Sheriff's deputies say that they got to the call where the shots were fired at a home in the Pollard Park neighborhood. That's where they found a person wounded and took them to the hospital. Governor Eric Holcomb's term ends next Monday. He says that he has some words of wisdom for when Mike Braun takes over as governor.
My caution would be don't fix what's not broken. But we do need to always try to improve.
Talking to Inside Indiana Business, he says the state has a bright economic future due to the investments in business that his administration has made during the 8 years of leading the state that he's had. The new legislative session begins on Wednesday. Already some bills catching the interest of Hoosiers. One would ban transgender athletes from competing in women's sports at the college level in the state. Also some legislation to help Hoosiers with their property taxes. Not long after the Colts beat the Jaguars at 26-23 on Sunday, their owner, Jim Irsay, made an announcement about the team's future. John Herrick reports.
On social media, Irsay said Sunday night that he believes in head coach Shane Steichen and Colts general manager Chris Ballard, as well as the collective effort of the organization to take them to the next level in 2025. The Colts finished the season 8-9, and they missed the playoffs for the fourth straight year, the longest drought in 30 years for Irsay. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Traffic on the 5s, Jeremy Scott.
Well, Kurt, while we are seeing less incidents out there, it doesn't mean that it's nice to go out and travel. Still, give yourself plenty of extra time if you absolutely have to. But if you don't have to, I would stay inside and watch the snow from indoors. Still got big problems on the ramp from 70 westbound to northbound 65, where crews are removing multiple stalled vehicles. And I'm seeing traffic very gingerly getting up that ramp. Other than that, 65 southbound, still got a crash on the ramp to 865 and 69 southbound, crawling approaching 465 southbound, where multiple cars have spun out. Traffic is sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Jeremy Scott with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and here's some really great news. Zero Res has gone flat out for the new year with their biggest and best sale of the year at 24% off all their services. All I can say is wow. Zero Res techs do it all when it comes to cleaning, and not just carpets, but also tile and rugs and upholstery, and literally every surface in your home can be Zero Resified, including your air ducts. It really is the best time of year to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res, and they're sure doing their part with this 24% off all their great cleaning services. And with their Gotta Love It guarantee, they're going to make sure your investment with them is a great experience that you'll never, ever regret. There's nobody better at cleaning than Zero Res. The Zero Res service is easy to line up, and you can go online at ZeroResIndy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. Just call them and mention WIBC. It's Zero Res. Call 317-388-5141 or book things online at ZeroResIndy.com. That's ZeroResIndy.com.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Winter storm warning for the rest of the day. Scattered snow showers through mid-afternoon. Blustery winds to a high of 28. Tonight, partly cloudy and colder, a low of 15. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
Snow is still covering the entire listening area. 21 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Kurt Darling. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Well, good morning and welcome to Monday, January 6th. It is 7 minutes after 9 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. It's going to be a very cold day today as Kamala Harris has to certify Trump's win. But let's not talk about that cold. Let's talk about the other cold, and that is the snow that we're all experiencing here in central Indiana. Our big first snowstorm of the year impacting many, and that includes Indianapolis and the surrounding area. I'm here in the studio. My name is Casey Daniels, but Rob Kendall, where are you?
Casey, this is either super romantic or super creepy, but I'm watching you right now on the YouTube feed as I'm talking to you, and you look marvelous.
I think it's super creepy, actually.
Which one is it?
What's going on? You couldn't make it in today?
Here's the thing. When you are dependent upon, in order to get to work today, I realized, and I think we went over this last week on Friday, Lopez and I and Kev had this conversation. I realized on Friday, in order to get to work, I would be dependent on both the town of Brownsburg and city of Indianapolis governments to properly execute the most basic of governmental services. And I said, there's no way that's going to happen. And having seen the condition of the roads in the greater Indianapolis area, I think I made the correct choice to work from home today.
Okay, so that's where you are. I hope you're at least clothed. You're not sitting there in your jammies or something, because that would be completely inappropriate as you watch me on the YouTube feed, which everybody can do. Just type in Kendall and Casey into the YouTube search bar. So this winter storm warning in effect, hazardous road conditions. We've got freezing, strong winds, snow, weight, and over 100 flight canceled at Indianapolis International Airport. We've got traffic delays. Plows are working all over the place. Coming up in about 25 minutes, we're going to speak with Kylie Kramer from INDOT and get a report from her on what's going on. But many schools closed throughout the area, delays and remote learning. And you know what? Lots of places are closed today. I, in fact, had a doctor's appointment that I was supposed to have this afternoon when we got off the air, Rob, and that has even been closed. So it's just Snowmageddon has hit. But I do have to tell you, as somebody who lived in northern Indiana for many years, and even Michigan for a part of my life, that I think some people, I'm not going to mention names, Rob Kendall, maybe being a little chicken, a little scared from the snow. Obviously, you want to go very slow today. You want to take your time. You want to give yourself a lot of distance from the car in front of you. But I don't know, Rob. It's not as much snow as they originally predicted.
Well, okay, so a couple things. One, I made my wife take my daughter to daycare today, and she said that the roads were very slick. And I said, I can't believe you would drive our daughter in the roads in this condition. And she goes, you made me do it. I said, that's beside the point. But the point is, I've heard this from multiple people, that this is sort of what we call like that deceptively slick, deceptively dangerous type of conditions, where you're right, Casey. Is this the blizzard of 78? No. Is it even equivalent to what we were getting? We're coming up on a 10 or 11 year anniversary of a massive snowstorm that hit central Indiana. Is it that? No. But sometimes that's some of the most dangerous conditions of all, because you look around and go, well, this isn't so bad.
It's
and
deceptive.
Maybe you drive a little faster than you should. It is, right? And
yeah.
And this is the thing today. If you don't have to go out, don't do it. Give the people the opportunity, the workers, the chance to clear all of these roads. Now, you live literally 5 minutes from the radio station. So I'm curious, on your venture in, how were the roads looking in the greater downtown area?
You know what? I had mostly one lane. So if you went from one lane into another lane, you would go over, the snow bumps. So it was down to one lane. I did not see a lot of cars on the road at all. In fact, I think I passed 3 on my entire way here. So that does mean that a lot of people are heeding the warning and staying off the roads if they don't have to be out and about, which is good, because that allows the snowplows to come in and take care of business and do what they have to do. Of course, Governor Holcomb has activated the Indiana National Guard to assist with this, and that does include the highway assistance. And you have had some crashes being reported on I-65 and I-465, and mostly because people are going too fast. And you've got some first-time drivers, people who don't know how to drive in the snow, haven't experienced this yet, because this is the first big snowstorm of the year.
Casey, couple things. Number one, I see people in the YouTube chat are getting on me that I made my wife take my daughter to daycare. One, I had to be here to do this. I mean, I'm serving humanity. Secondly, I shoveled my driveway, not once, not twice, but 3 times over the past, whatever it's been, not quite 24 hours, to ensure an easy maneuver in and out of the facility. I think I've done I also shoveled the sidewalk and the stoop for the mailman. I've taken care of all of the people around me. I have done my part to ensure that everybody is maneuvering in a safe fashion. By the way, also I'd like to add, our old pal Officer Brad, you know Officer Brad, we love Officer Brad. He texted me and said, quote, great call today. I've stopped for 7 slide-offs already. See, I, as usual, nobody knows Central Indiana. Nobody is more connected to being a Hoosier than me. And I could tell just based on the weather we were getting at about 4 p.m. yesterday, I made the call and said, I'm working from home.
Okay, so who is responsible for plowing the roads in your area? Let's review that. City street departments like Indy DPW, they handle main and side streets within city limits. Now, for the county highways, they're going to handle things like Baseline Road, County Line Road, County Road West 200 East. Okay. And you've got NDOT. They do the interstates and the highways and also the state highways. So it's a lot of different organizations coming together and trying to get the snow cleared for you. And NDOT, they plow about every 2 to 3 hours, and they do like, I guess, a loop. So if you haven't seen a plow by your place recently, chances are they've passed and they're going to be coming back again, because that's what they do. They work in these shifts and they continually make these circles, these loops, just to keep going back over, and they'll continue to do that until the snow stops. So how long did
real quick, Casey, I want to say, too, the people that get mad, like if there's snow on the ground before it gets plowed, there has to be a certain level of snow on the ground before they can plow. If it's less than 2 inches, there's really no point in them plowing, because what are you going to do? You're going to take a blade, which is on the front of the truck, and you're just going to be grinding a blade on the street. Casey, I don't know if you know, in freezing cold conditions, what taking a sharp blade and grinding it on a city street, that wouldn't be good for anyone. So you don't want to do that. Now, there are the strategy in which how you plow the snow. Are the roads properly salted and treated ahead of time? Those are all fair game, but a lot of people kind of jump the gun on blaming their municipality in terms of when the streets get plowed, how they get plowed. It's also a luck of the draw type of thing, right? Like if you're a person who went out this morning, now it's very slick, it's very dangerous. If you're going out right now, it's still snowing. However, that gives them more time than, like I saw Mark Dykton, who's the morning show producer on The Fan. He came downtown last night. I guess they got the producers a hotel, which the company's done before, and he was talking about just the deplorable condition of the roads and how bad they were. So sometimes it's luck on when you go, when you have to go. Your venture, your time outside might be better or worse than somebody else's, just depending on when you have to get out.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you shoveled your driveway not once, twice. Did you say 3 times? Three times
that's
you
right.
did that? And how did it go? Did you really get your back into it?
Yeah, you know, I'm very into physical fitness, and you'll love this. So I've done it 3 times. Yes, 3 times. After the Colts game was the first time. So 3 times since 4 o'clock. I did it this morning at like 6 o'clock to make sure that my wife could get out and go where she needed to go and do her things. And then she comes home at about 8:15. So 8:15. What time do I go on the air, Casey? We go on at 9 o'clock, right? Yeah. At 8:15, she looks at me and she goes, I think you're going to need to get out there and shovel again. The mailman might have a hard time getting to our house. And I'm like the only driveway other than my dad's right next to me who has shoveled any part of their driveway or sidewalk or anything. And yet I guess I'm supposed to go out when I get off the air here and do this a 4th time.
Well, you know what? You're at home. It's toasty warm where you are, so just get ready to do it, okay?
You look wonderful, by the way. You're looking very happy. I saw you gazing lovingly into the camera. I'm sure you were looking at me, so I just want to let you know I'm keeping an eye on you.
That you're number one. If I told you you're number one right now, you would see it. Just like here in the studio. It would just be like things are normal, right? All right.
What are we doing when we come back?
You know what? Did you hear Joe Biden singing happy birthday to someone?
I did.
Do you remember the Velvet when he sang happy birthday, Velvet, dear Velvet? Well, this is a different version.
That won the Hammer and Nigel. We won the Biden Madness thing with that. Yes,
we've got a new one to submit, and we're going to share it with everybody coming up. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Countless accidents.
Another update is just minutes away.
1,300 flight cancellations. Washington, D.C. could get a foot of snow.
Get the facts.
Somebody crashes on a snow-covered road.
Not just the talking points.
It's not the snow's fault. It's the way they were driving.
Hundreds of accidents.
On the level.
Road conditions deteriorating.
On the go.
Many of our roads are drifted shut.
Closings and delays.
We could get an additional 2 or 3 inches.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
And wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Great holiday savings all month at Tom Roush Lincoln. And during the Lincoln Wish List sales event, select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 60 months. And all these great deals include the Lincoln Conquest Trade Assist. And don't you forget, all Lincolns come with complimentary pickup and delivery service. So get some of those holiday savings right now at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,845. Subject credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Book your custom patio project before March 1st and save up to $2,500. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
B is offering 1 bath remodel for as low as $99 a month or get 2 bath remodels for as low as $249 a month. Call now to schedule that free in-home design consultation.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here with an offer you don't want to miss. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to help their customers stay healthy by improving their water quality. Install a combo package, a new tankless reverse osmosis system, a carbon filter, and a water softener, all for $5,000. Let's face it, Indiana's water quality is pretty poor, and this water quality combo for only $5,000 can help ensure your family's drinking water is safe. Give Hope Plumbing a call or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
So Joe Biden plans to deliver 2 major speeches before he leaves office. This is an effort to outline what he sees are key parts of his legacy. 50 years in public service, what's his legacy going to be? You know what? I tell you, his legacy is going to be... The first speech is set to focus on foreign policy, and he's supposed to do this before his trip to Italy. And another speech is supposed to be his themes of what he has developed over the past 50 years. But I don't know if you saw this. He invited a guy on stage when he was passing out the medals, and he tried to sing "Happy Birthday" to him. Rob, you'd think that Happy Birthday. It's a pretty easy song to remember, right? He doesn't.
You want to give it a go? Can you do it on the spot? Let's see. Go
Sing
ahead.
Happy Birthday?
Can you do it?
Yeah.
Pretend it's my birthday again, which you missed because I was gone.
It was
Go
your
ahead.
birthday. It was your birthday
That's
on
right.
New Year's Eve. How old are you?
By the way, I feel really bad, Casey. On Friday, when I do my segment with Tony Katz, we do it to promote the sports betting podcast.
Yeah.
I told everyone you were 61 years old. I feel very bad that I.
Did you really? Why?
And he believed me.
Why are you playing me? Oh, he did not. Now I've got a problem with you and Tony Katz. I can't believe you would say that I'm 61 years old. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I look good for 61.
Wait. In fairness, though, I did say you were very well preserved for your age.
You exaggerate so bad. What are you, 41 now? Is that
I
it?
am. Yes, I am. And so in honor of me not being there on my birthday, which you and your husband did a phenomenal job while I was gone. Would you like to see on the spot if you can remember the words to "Happy Birthday"? You can insert my name where the name would be.
Yeah. Well, rather than me sing it, how about we have our president sing it?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right.
You could just insert your name there because he didn't know who he was singing happy birthday to.
He can't do it. Remember, he did this with it was Martin Luther King III's wife, and he forgot her name, and then he just inserted Velvet, of all the names. So it's just the most random name out there. And so he forgot the guy's name, and he's totally out of tune on it, right? Like he's not even the pitch. It's not even remotely right. And then he clearly can't pronounce this guy's name or forgets his name or whatever. And he's almost like Seinfeld, where he just takes a stab at it and just calls him Mulva.
Mulva. Gipple? Is that it? Dolores! Yeah, well, that's quite the embarrassment. So I don't know if he ever figured out who his name is. What are we on? 14 days? Is that right? The countdown is on?
Well, isn't it fascinating? Because I saw him doing this on Twitter, and it's like popping up in my feed. He's posting, or somebody's obviously doing it for him. He's not doing it himself, but he's posting these things that he's calling these great accomplishments, and he's literally just gaslighting the American people. And it's so interesting the quote unquote wins that he's looking for inside of these bills. So like he's posting about the Inflation Reduction Act, and clearly that didn't reduce any inflation, didn't make anything more affordable, it didn't do anything to help the American people. Yet he's in there trying to claim that there's some sort of win for drug pricing, and he's going, we took on Big Pharma and we beat Big Pharma, as though every person out there now, medication suddenly became super affordable. And if you were to ask the average person, they'd say, I've seen most of us no difference in the price of many medications, many medicines, many anything. And they're just straight up lying. They're gaslighting the American people because there is nothing. What are they going to talk about? What is better in American life? The answer is nothing.
Yeah. Him and his wife are expected to travel to New Orleans today. They're to attend a prayer service for the families down there. But here is a top Kamala Harris advisor, and she was asked about Joe Biden and his mental capacity. And, she said, no, Rob, you're wrong. You're wrong. He's all there.
I was very surprised that when you asked the question about mental acuity, he didn't more forcefully push back. The question on the table is the president all the way there? And the answer is unequivocally yes.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, but you're wrong and she's right. At least that's what they want you to believe. Kevin, can we play the birthday song one more time? Because I just feel like it's going to become a classic. So, yeah, let's hear that one more time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right.
So you had Chuck Schumer. He was on Meet the Press over the weekend, and he got called out straight up for covering up Biden's decline. And he said he was deflecting, and of course, he was demanding that Americans salute Joe Biden.
I talk to President Biden, regularly. Sometimes several times in a week, or usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It's as good as it's been over the years. Sure. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
Leader Schumer, what do you say to Americans who feel as though you and other top Democrats misled them about President Biden's mental acuity?
No. Look, we didn't. And let's look at President Biden. He's had an amazing record. The legislation we passed, one of the most significant groups of legislation since since Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, putting in 235 judges, a record, and he's a patriot. He's a great guy. And when he stepped down, he did it on his own because he thought it was better not only for the Democratic Party, for America. We should all salute him. We should all salute him.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that fascinating that even to the very end, these people are such maniacal liars I mean, they're complete narcissistic sociopaths that even to the very end, they will keep the charade up. The media's totally turned on him. Everybody knows what he was. And people Chuck Schumer is a comic book villain. At this point, he has just become a comic book villain. And they will continue to the very, very end to lie right to your face about the most obvious, easily disprovable things imaginable.
Yeah, and they do it at the expense of the American people. And I mean, what he's saying there about Biden's mental decline, and he's a patriot, Rob, and we should all salute him. And don't forget to salute him with your 10%, right? Because that's what he's taking. It's such a huge cover up. Talking about covering the snow, blanketing all of central Indiana. And coming up next, we're going to speak with Kylie Kramer. She is a public relations director for INDOT, and we're going to talk about those snowplows and also the drivers who are out trying to clear the roads for you right now as we speak. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Terry Stacy for Cardwell Do It Best Home Center, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side. Your discount roofing headquarters. Stop in for wholesale and factory direct pricing on the roofing shingles and supplies you need at the price you love. They offer dimensional and 3-tab shingles at low prices. Cardwell also carries a full line of best look quality paints produced by Sherwin-Williams, America's largest paint manufacturer, with paint and primer all in one. Cardwell also carries a full line of Hillman fasteners. And for winter, snow shovels, rock salt, and ice melter all in stock. At Cardwell Do It Best, you'll also find a full line of lawn and garden supplies, plumbing, electrical, with lumber and building materials too. Cardwell Home Center. Shop online at cardwellhomecenter.com with over 67,000 products available and free shipping to the store. Cardwell Do It Best, 3205 Madison Avenue, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side, serving the greater Indianapolis community since 1945.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Condolences being given in Louisiana. A winter storm warning is still in effect. 21 degrees downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. President Biden will be traveling to New Orleans today to meet with those impacted by the New Year's Bourbon Street attack. He'll be accompanied by First Lady Jill Biden as they spend time with grieving relatives, as well as local and state experts on the attack. The attack also saw an apparent ISIS sympathizer plow a pickup truck into crowds celebrating the New Year's holiday, killing 14 people and injuring dozens more. A lawsuit over President Biden's decision to block the acquisition of U.S. Steel by a Japanese company. Fox's Jenny Casola.
Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel are suing the U.S. government, competitor Cleveland Cliffs, and U.S. Steelworkers President David McCall. U.S. Steel CEO David Burritt tells Fox's Lydia Hu he believes President Biden's decision was political.
Well, apparently, he felt that he owed the union boss. He owed the union boss a favor in exchange for an endorsement. That's the only thing we can think of.
U.S. Steel President David Burritt says he wants a fresh review of the deal under the incoming Trump administration. Jenny Cosola, Fox News.
Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Some slight increases to start the week. The Dow was up 84 points at the opening bell to 43,105. The NASDAQ up 115 to 21,672. And the S&P 500 is up 31 to 6,021. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar at 8. And January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
The holidays are over, and the new year is here, making it the perfect time to think about the future. More specifically, it's the perfect time to think about your financial future. Right now, Howard Bailey Financial is offering a free retirement toolkit, a comprehensive guide designed to help you plan, save, and jumpstart the retirement you deserve. To get your free copy today, text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 and download your free retirement toolkit. Start 2025 off with a gift to yourself, filled with all the tools you need to plan for a positive and purpose-filled future. Just text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Make this new year your year to invest in yourself and secure a brighter tomorrow, starting today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
It's 93 WIBC. It is the Kendall and Casey show. My name is Casey Daniels, and on the WIBC cold line this morning is Kylie Kramer. She is the Public Relations Director for INDOT. So, Kylie, I have to imagine it's a busy, busy day for you guys. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's been more of a busy weekend. Not only are we plowing, but preparing for all the snow that we are still receiving. Mm-hmm. It is forecasting to be a busy day for us. Our plows are still out. They've been out since, about 24 hours ago. So it's been a busy day, but we're hoping to wrap things up soon and start to get into post-cleanup operations.
So tell me, Kylie Kramer from INDOT joining us, what is INDOT's general strategy for clearing snow and ice from the highways during these winter storms?
Yeah, absolutely. Every single winter storm is so unique, and this one we've had plenty of time to get a notice, which is very helpful. But this one, we were looking at it, the snow dropping 12 inches, and then it went down to 6 inches, and it's still snowing now, so who knows what we've got out there. But for that, we have been prepping the roads with salt and brine. That's just to ensure that the snow isn't turning into ice when we see that drop in freezing temperatures. So with that, now we are just strictly plowing, because we're just trying to get that snow off the roads and maintain those roads.
Yeah. How do you guys prioritize which roadways you choose first? Is it interstates, highways, residential roads, city streets? What's the order?
Yeah. Well, INDOT's in charge of your interstates, your highways, your state roads. So we're not in charge of your city streets or your local roads. But with that, we first look at the ones that people are going to commute the most in the morning. We're looking at the ones that are high volume and frequency of drivers, semi-drivers, commuters, whatever it may be. So you're going to see 465 plowed quite early. You're going to see I-70 plowed, I-69, I-65, those roads, because those are the ones that we're going to see a high frequency of drivers on in the morning. Mm-hmm. After that, we start to go to the ones that we start to see a lower frequency. But again, this snow has been going on since yesterday and last night, so we've been able to kind of use the nighttime to get ahead of that plowing and before people get on the road this morning.
How many snowplows does NDOT have currently out clearing the snow?
Oh, my goodness. We had, just in Marion County, we had our 7 tow plows out, which can plow 2 lanes at a time. So you can imagine 465 getting done pretty quickly. And then we've also had drivers from the northern part of the state come help out in the southern parts of the state. So this wind and this snow event looks a little unique, but total we were looking at having, I believe, about 500 out. But in Marion County alone, we had about 80 out.
Wow, that's a lot. 500?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you guys determine, how much salt or brine to apply to the roads? Is it based on temperature, or is there a scale that you look at?
Yeah, it's based on temperature. So that brine is to really help out and make sure salt can only help till a certain temperature. Brine kind of helps aid in making sure that salt can stay down even longer. Brine can go to a further freezing point temperature. So we just look at what we've got. We have a great partner with the National Weather Service. We look at what they're putting out. We look at what our roadways are clocking in at temperature-wise, and we kind of apply through there. Sometimes it is pivoting mid-operation, but that's what's so great about our drivers is that they're so experienced and that they're really great at pivoting.
Yeah. Kylie Kramer is joining us. She is the Public Relations Director for NDOT. And do your drivers, they plow, one of the roads and then they have to go back and do it again because it's continuing to snow?
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys figure that out? Like, we got to go back and do that again.
Yeah. So each driver has their own specific route. So each route takes anywhere between 2 to 3 hours to complete because they're doing so many lane miles.
Mm-hmm.
But so they're just running their route throughout the night. And this snow just seems to be you plow and then it snows and then you're doing that work again. But the efficiency of that is making sure that when we do plow, it's less and less snow each time. So some people may think it's silly that we're kind of running in circles, but it is allowing us to plow less snow each time and for it to be safer for drivers. And again, our goal is to make sure that the roads are maintained.
What are you guys hearing about the roads? What are your drivers telling you? That they're really bad, they're moderate, they're worst they've ever seen? Can you give us a scale?
Yeah. Well, again, we've been out for over 24 hours at this point. So we've been able to be in front of the cold front and the storm that we've gotten. So our drivers have said that the roads are definitely maintainable. The snow is coming down like crazy. The biggest thing that we're hearing is visibility. I checked our plow camera last night in Sheridan, and the visibility was insane. So I'm really happy to see that there weren't a lot of cars out last night to allow our plow drivers to do their job, but also just for safety of our motoring public. It's definitely low visibility, but I think today, with it being brighter out, we're able to see a little bit further out today.
Yeah, I noticed that the roads were pretty bare on my way into work this morning, so it seems like people are heeding the warning that unless you have to be out, don't go out. So how does NDOT communicate with the public about the snow being removed or unsafe roads during these winter weather events?
Yeah, that's a really great question. We not only use wonderful partners like yourself and the news media, but we are also updating on Facebook and X, otherwise known as Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
There we're able to reach our audiences and give a little bit more clear of a picture because we're able to provide a picture. And then we're also able to kind of give an update of what we're seeing on the road, what our plow drivers are seeing on the road, and reach a bigger audience there.
Yeah, she's the Public Relations Director for NDOT. Kylie Kramer is joining us. And just a couple more questions for you. Do you guys have a real-time map or a system where drivers can check the status of road conditions or anything like that before they travel?
I'm so happy to talk about our TrafficWise app. So we have,
I didn't know you even had an app, so that was not a setup.
It is if people are familiar with 511in.org, it is that, but in app form. So it is our free app in the App Store. and folks can download it, and they can see where our plow driver's at. They can see where they've been, and they can also see what they're seeing. So I personally like to see it before I head out on the road, so I kind of get an idea of what I'm in for.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a very helpful app to have and to see what the road conditions are. And then when it's not even snowing during construction season, you can also see what's going on there with interstate and lane changes and all that stuff. So it's a wonderful app to check in on.
Do you guys have a typical timeline for clearing the major highways? Do you know, this is going to last exactly 4 hours, 5 hours? I'm sure it's dependent on the weather, though, isn't it?
Yeah, again, every single snowstorm and event is so unique, but especially with this one, with the snow still coming down, again, every route takes about 2 to 3 hours. So that's why when people say, I haven't seen a driver in a little bit, it's probably because they already passed or they're still coming and completing their route.
Yeah.
So every route's about 2 to 3 hours.
So what do the plow drivers do when it's not wintertime and they're not driving the plows?
Yeah, we're prepping for plows and for snow season. We start our snow operations up in August when we start snow school, when we start those trainings. Other than that, they are your people who are your maintenance workers that you see completing potholes, that you see on the roadways and doing little work that isn't exactly construction. So it's a separate department. It's your maintenance department. They're the ones who are getting your phone calls about your smaller things and really making sure that we get that done in a timely manner for our motoring public. So you do see them out on the road, just in a different function.
Got it. Kylie, is there any message that you'd like to give people who are in their cars or about to get into their cars and get on these roads?
Yeah, absolutely. Visibility is still pretty low. I know we're not seeing too far out as we're driving, but speaking of driving, it's really important to be a present driver. I know that people are driving slower today, and that is recommended. Please be courteous of slower drivers. We have some first-time drivers who are driving in this today, but also I want to make sure that people are being present behind the wheel by putting their phone down. It is very important, even if you're driving 35 miles an hour on 465, that you're not pulling out your phone and texting in between. We really want to ensure that folks get to their destination safe. And we really want to make sure folks limit any unnecessary driving that they need to today. Enjoy the snow from their home. It's really recommended.
Yeah, enjoy it from the family room today. Well, we appreciate your time this morning, Kylie. It's Kylie Kramer, Public Relations Director for NDOT. And most importantly, we appreciate those plow drivers, and let's allow them the time to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yep, it is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show. Man, what a weekend. The latest on the weather, the biggest stories in Indy, and it's Monday Gun Day. 93 WIBC.
Hey guys, it's Rob. Let's talk about the weather for a second. Kinda nasty, right? And, for a long time now, we have been telling you you've got to call Universal Windows Direct because we knew this day was coming, right? We live in Indiana. It gets really cold in the winter. And if you've been feeling cold in your house, it could be because of your windows. Now listen to this deal going on right now with Universal Windows Direct to try to take care of you. For every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free. That's right. Every 2 you buy, you'll get 2 more absolutely free, no limit, plus 36 months of no interest financing. That's 3 years to pay for your windows without a single cent of interest. Plus, if you've already received a quote from another company, bring it to Universal Windows Direct and they'll beat it. Now, some restrictions apply, so call Universal Windows Direct today to get all the information. 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574, or visit them on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
World-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
We are still experiencing hazardous roads in the Indianapolis area. Since noon yesterday, troopers in Indy have responded to 144 crashes and over 60 slide-offs. So please use extra caution if you must travel today. Of course, everybody urging you that if you don't have to be out of your house, don't do it. Just stay and enjoy the snow from the inside. And that's what Rob Kendall is doing. You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. Since I live so close to work, came in today. But Rob, you stayed at home. You didn't think that you could make it from Brownsburg, huh?
I saw somebody on the southeast side. They took the thing where they took the tape measure and measured the snow, and they are at 11 inches there on the southeast side of Indianapolis. So 11 inches of snow thus far. Our old pal Officer Brad, he is out pulling people out of the greater downtown area who have slid off the road, and he's been sending me these photos of these downtown streets. And he made a great point. He said one of the issues they've got now is the wind, because it's blowing from east to west, the way the snow is going to start drifting, and that's the other part of the problem. If you're trying to dig out, if you're shoveling a driveway, etc., just because you shovel it now you got the problem that it's going to blow back potentially where it was before. So it's one of these snowfalls where, again, is it this calamity? Is it the blizzard of 78? No, but because of the longevity of the snow, the amount of snow, and now the drifting of the snow, you've got another day or two of what could be pretty hazardous road conditions.
Yep, you mentioned the wind. Wind gusts have been reported up to 40 miles per hour, and they do cause that considerable blowing and drifting. And if you are one of those people that does have to get in your car and go somewhere, you're advised to bring extra clothes and even a winter kit if you have to venture out, just in case you hit a drift or slide off or you get stuck. I thought about that when I was leaving for work today. Of course, I'm just wearing my little Converse sneakers, and I thought, I really should have some boots with me. But I wasn't smart when I was thinking about that.
Did they plow so you live in a gated community high-rise complex where your house, one of those houses where it's like 9 stories high. You have no lawn, but it's very high, and you have very wealthy people that live around you. Did they plow the drive in and out of your gated community?
You know what? They were working on it, actually, when I left for work today. So I kind of had to be patient as the plows Colts were doing their thing, and I saw them with some snow blowers on the sidewalks as well. So, that's the Homeowners Association paying for that, Rob. That's what I pay for with that HOA.
Well, so this is my question to you, Casey. Mm-hmm. What is, if you live in either an apartment complex or a exclusive gated community like you do, what is the reasonable amount of time for the snowplows to have shoveled the greater parking area? Like, how long do you give them before you say, okay, somebody really should have done this by now? Is it 24 hours? Is it 12 hours? I've never lived in one of those types of places. What is the allotted amount of time before somebody's really made a mistake?
Yeah, well, I was glad to see him at all because I wasn't sure. Since this is really the first big snow we've experienced in this place, I thought, I don't even know, are they going to do it? Do people show up and do it? And they did. They actually had put salt down the other day before the snow came, and I was pleased to see that. But they were out there before 8 a.m. this morning, and I'm sure that, that's kind of down there on the priority list, my little neighborhood. They got to get the city streets first.
What's the going rate for a driveway shovel now? Like, this might be a market I could tap into because I did the math. So I timed myself this morning. It took me about 25 minutes from 6 a.m. to 6:25 a.m. to shovel my driveway. Now, this is the third time, so I already cleared a large amount of snow. But I was wondering, what is the going rate to shovel a driveway now? Because if you could do it on an economy of scale, now I was doing it all by hand, but you've got literally no expense other than your labor. Is it $25 for a normal suburban driveway? How much could I make if I went out and was shoveling driveways?
Well, if you're shoveling, I think that's going to be a really long, strenuous day for you. I know a lot of people will just hire somebody who have a plow on their pickup truck, come do it, and
that's what I'm saying.
Within 10 minutes, the job is done.
But if it's $25 is the going rate and I undercut it and let's say, hey, I'll do your driveway for $20. So I'm saving people $5. You don't care as long as it's done and I'm saving you $5. All I'd have to do is do 5 driveways. So at 30 minutes a driveway, that's 2.5 hours. I've made $100. I mean, where else are you making $100? I'm able-bodied. I can shovel the snow. We're not dealing with feet of snow here. Is $20? Could I be cutting the market if I said $20 to shovel a regular suburban driveway?
Yeah, I think that would be a really good price for you, Rob Kendall. You could potentially charge even more now because you could. People could say Rob Kendall came shoveled my snow. But did you do your dad's driveway because he's right next door?
I tried. My dad has one of those snow blowers, and I tried yesterday. So Olivia went out in the snow. She was not. We had a snow last year, but she was not old enough to go out in it. So this was her first time in the snow. So Gabrielle and Olivia went out and played in the snow while I shoveled the driveway. And so then my old man came out. I tried to help him. He said, "Get the hell out of my driveway. I'm working here." And so I got a little bit of it done for him. Now I told him for this next round. That I'm going to come over and at least be there with him because it feels a little cold and that snow's a little deep for him, someone of his advanced age, to be out there by himself. So I'm going to go over there and help him. But those snow blowers are so darn fast now, Casey.
Yeah.
I mean, he was done in 10 – it was like 10 minutes done.
Yeah,
boom.
Exactly. Well, it's nice to hear that he's not doing it with a shovel, and that's the thing. You have to look out for your neighbors, especially, ones that are getting up there in age because that heavy snow can put a big strain on your heart. It is the Kendall and Casey Show.
Someone who's 61 like you, Casey.
Yeah.
Someone who's 61 like you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got to be careful out there, Rob. So do you. You're so lucky you're not here in the studio right now. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity, now through January 16th. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year when you add an unlimited mobile line, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Act fast today and save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, This new year, it's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait and get gig speed internet. Spend less green and switch to Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Welcome Line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Starter Line. Xfinity internet required. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text DANDY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text DANDY to 42424. That's DANDY to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Nearly 7 decades ago, the Kingston Trio emerged from San Francisco's North Beach club scene to introduce the sounds of folk music into the mainstream.
When will they ever learn? And I don't give a damn about a greenback guitar.
Re-experience the music that ushered in an American folk revival for one show only, 7 p.m. January 11th at the Tarkington Theater, Center for the Performing Arts.
Hang down your head.
The Kingston Trio. Tickets and more information at KingstonTrio.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Coming up in 2 minutes, snow is sticking around for a little while longer. Plus, Governor Holcomb has some advice for the incoming administration and why the status quo appears to be staying put for the Indianapolis Colts. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
Preserve, baby, preserve. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. President Biden out with an order to ban more offshore oil and gas drilling 2 weeks before leaving office.
This is the radical left environmental extremists in his administration who don't care about what's in the best interest of the American people.
Incoming Trump White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox the president-elect still plans a drill, baby, drill agenda of increased production. Here's what's in the Biden order.
The president is protecting the entire U.S. coast as well as portions of the Gulf of Mexico, Pacific coast, and northern Bering Sea from future oil and gas leasing. In all, the ban blocked 625 million acres of U.S. ocean from drilling. President Biden says his decision reflects what coastal communities, businesses, and beachgoers have long known, that drilling could cause irreversible damage to places held dear.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. Soon the president will travel to New Orleans to meet with victims' families from the New Year's Day terror truck attack by Army veteran turned ISIS supporter Shamsuddin Jabbar, who killed 14 people.
Authorities say Jabbar made at least 2 trips to New Orleans in the months leading up to the attack. The FBI says by using meta glasses, Jabbar recorded himself biking through the French Quarter.
That's Fox's Madison Scarpino in New Orleans. President-elect Trump is trying to block his sentencing set for Friday in New York, where he was convicted of falsifying business records related to 2016 payments to keep an alleged affair quiet. A Trump spokesman calls the sentencing unlawful and the case a witch hunt. In 3 hours, Congress will gather in a special session to certify the Trump election victory 4 years after his supporters tried to block the Biden win.
A mob infamously entered the Capitol and interrupted the proceedings. Capitol Police say they're prepared this year with increased security measures both at the U.S. Capitol complex and elsewhere around Washington.
Fox's Evan Brown. Washington could have been a lot of snow and a storm that's caused thousands of power outages and flight cancellations. America's listening.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Take heed before you drive. A winter storm warning still in place. 21 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Snow continues to fall throughout the state, though it is slowly starting to taper off. But whether it still be light or heavy in some places, Greg Mello with the National Weather Service.
Even though the snow's going to stop tonight, we're still expecting snow to stay on the roads. It's going to be very cold out. So snow-covered roads are definitely going to be an issue for the next few days until they get cleared out.
He says anywhere between 6 inches to a foot of snow has fallen throughout some parts of Indiana. Temperatures will get colder as the week goes on. State police urging you to travel carefully as the cold temps will likely create ice on roadways. Governor Holcomb believes he is leaving the state better than he found it.
Now we're in the situation where other states are saying we got to catch up with Indiana. Indiana's getting more than their fair share.
Holcomb talking to Inside Indiana Business about his administration's business investment efforts. He urges the incoming administration to not fix what isn't broken in that regard. A woman in a wheelchair who was hit by a car on the east side last week has died. Investigators say that Desiree Moons died this morning at the hospital. Moons was hit by a car at East 21st and North German Church late Friday night. State police pulled over a man who was high on meth in Knox County. Jake McDaniel reports.
That is just south of Vincennes. As officers pulled over Zachary Anderson in his car, he then ran off on US 41. Officers say his luck ran out as he took the exit onto Willow Street, and that's when he lost control of the car and crashed into a ditch. Officers took Anderson to Knox County Jail, and he is now facing charges of drug possession and resisting law enforcement. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Colts end the season with a 26-23 overtime win over the Jaguars Sunday.
Obviously not where we want to be. Obviously we want to be in the playoffs. That part is disappointing, but I am proud of the way the guys fought this last game.
Head coach Shane Steichen and general manager Chris Ballard will be keeping their jobs next season, as team owner Jim Irsay posted on X Sunday that he believes in both men who to continue to lead the Colts despite not having made the playoffs over the last 4 years. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Are you planning for your retirement? Ensure you're on the right track with a crucial step, tax planning. At Absolute Wealth Management LLC, every retirement plan we design includes comprehensive tax planning. Imagine maximizing your savings while minimizing tax burdens. Tax planning isn't just about the present. It's a cornerstone for retirement planning. The less you have to give to Uncle Sam, the more cash flow you have in retirement. So take control of your financial situation. Proper tax planning can help optimize your retirement income, leaving you with more time to enjoy the life you've worked hard for. Let us help you create a tax-efficient retirement plan. Your future self will thank you. Call Absolute Wealth Management LLC, 317-288-0634. That's 317-288-0634. Or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. William Gonzalez offers investment advisory service through Gradient Advisors LLC, 877-885-0508, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Absolute Wealth Management is not a registered investment advisor nor an affiliate of Gradient Advisors. Gradient Advisors LLC and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice. Insurance offered through William Gonzalez, independent agent.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Well, good morning. It is Monday, January 6th. It is 5 minutes after 10. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. This beautiful white weather we're having would have been even prettier a week ago or even 10 days ago. We could have had a white Christmas. But as Indianapolis continues to be impacted by this severe winter weather, officials with the Indianapolis Department of Public Works said that trash pickup is still scheduled to occur today, although they will have some delays. This from a statement from the Indy DPW. The official said that there are going to be some delays, but those areas that experience delays will be serviced on Tuesday. So you're supposed to still place your cart or recycling bin on the curb in front of the large piles of snow, and you're supposed to clear a 4-foot space on each side of your can to allow the collection trucks to come on through. So yeah, they're still going to get your snow and your trash today, and if they don't get it today in Indy, well, they'll get it tomorrow, Rob.
Yeah, and the overarching theme when talking to some members of law enforcement and hearing obviously your interview that you did with the NDOT spokeswoman, and then you hear Ryan Hedrick and Kurt Darling, the people doing the news, there's kind of a consensus, which is, hey, look, is this the worst weather to ever hit central Indiana? No. But is it deceptively bad? Yes. If you don't have to get out, don't do it. Now, for many people, for a variety of reasons, obviously they have to get out and go do something. But if you can avoid getting out today, it's best not to do that, to give the folks the time to get these roads cleared, because when you factor in the snow and then the ice and then obviously kind of a mixture of both and now the drifting, it can be deceptively dangerous out there, and there's no reason to take that risk.
Yeah, but it's not just us that are experiencing it here in central Indiana. This major winter storm affecting, well, a big swath of the United States. Approximately 60 million Americans across 18 states are under this winter weather alert. And it includes St. Louis, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, heavy snow expected throughout Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia. Some areas are seeing up to 18 to 24 inches, including even the Appalachian regions. And so it's just continuing to fall. The Indianapolis International Airport canceled more than 100 flights yesterday because of this heavy snow. And I saw this morning as I was getting ready to leave for work that they were reporting that flights all across the country were being canceled or delayed because of this, really affecting a lot of people's travel plans.
Now, so you obviously bailed on the show on Thursday and Friday. You went to Baltimore. So on your trip back, did you experience any sort of inclement weather? Because you came, was it Sunday? Was yesterday or was it Saturday?
Here's the big shocker, Rob. Because of the snow, we did not go. Because we did not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we didn't want to be driving through the mountains with this snow, because that is, I mean, driving through the mountains can be nerve-wracking to begin with, but when you're doing a long haul through the mountains, through the snow, that was just too treacherous. So the good news is the kid is still here.
Oh,
we got her for a few more days.
So wait, you're telling me you and Jim just sat around in your underwear eating Cheetos all day? You could have been here on Thursday and Friday doing radio with me, and you chose not to do that? Well, what sort of crummy-ass partner are you, lady?
Well, you know what? I'm taking my lesson from you, guy who's sitting at home on his family room while I'm here in the studio today. But did you see that the mayor from Noblesville, Chris Jensen, he was speaking with officials, and he spoke with the street commissioner, Patty Johnson, and also the Noblesville PD chief, John Mann, and they were discussing safety tips and driving in this winter storm.
Chief, what can we do to keep obviously safety's number one priority. What can we be doing right now to keep ourselves safe and maybe our neighbors safe?
Yeah, I would say be prepared early. Go out and get the things that you think you're going to need for this storm as it comes through. That way it keeps the streets empty for our teams to get through. No worry about public safety. We on the police department all have four-wheel drive vehicles. The only people that should be in a hurry this time of year should be the fire and the police when we're out there on the streets. We see a lot of accidents that are caused by driving like the weather is normal around here. So when the storm sets in and the snow and it gets wet and slick, slow down. Most of the accidents we see are caused by people being in a hurry, following too closely, not prepared to stop, not driving for the road conditions.
So that's true. People aren't prepared for it. Rob, where did you learn to drive in the snow? In Brownsburg, down your street?
First of all, let me say this, Casey. I am thoroughly impressed that the mayor of Noblesville could take time away from approving every Soviet block-style apartment complex that comes before the city or a $36 million arena for the Pacers G League team to notice that it was snowing and take time out to do that for his constituents. So good on him for that. What was the question? Sorry. What
I was wondering where they were talking about driving in the snow, and I learned to drive in the snow in Detroit, Michigan, and the very first year I did that, I took out a mailbox because I slammed on the brakes. And that's what you're not supposed to do in the ice and the snow. You're supposed to pump those brakes and counter steer. So I'm just wondering, you probably learned how to drive on the same street you're currently living on, the same street that you're at right now.
The mean streets of Brownsburg, yes, Casey. Everything I've ever learned, I learned in what was once beautiful Brownsburg. I mean, look, the driving in the snow, now unless you're in some sort of horrific blizzardy type condition, it's nerve-wracking. But if you just follow a couple of basic principles, and that police officer, I think, outlined a couple of those that we just heard from, it's not normally all that bad. The biggest issues are, number one, people going too fast, and number two, when the automobile doesn't respond exactly how it normally would, people panic and they do the exact opposite of what they should be doing. And so as long as
like
you can
slamming on the brakes.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
Casey, that's but it's like we're chuckling about it, but it's instinctive, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not anybody's fault, and so that's why they say unless you are someone who has great experience driving this, has an automobile that is adequately equipped for it, just stay off the roads today.
Yeah. So did you see that Melania Trump is going to star in a documentary film project? It's going to be on Amazon Prime, and it's set to debut the second half of 2025. And she's actually going to be the executive producer of this film. And it's a behind-the-scenes look at her as First Lady. I find it very interesting because we've been saying for this entire run, through the election, she wasn't really out front and center. And now that Donald Trump has won the presidency, she's going to be in this documentary, and it's going to be about her.
Yeah, you know what this kind of reminds me of is it's like somebody on the like the sports team that didn't contribute at all, and then once the team wins the championship, they demand to get the trophy and the trip to Pizza Hut. Didn't she go out of her way for the most part? Now, I'm not saying she didn't do anything, but didn't she kind of go out of her way to not even participate in this campaign? And there were many, many reports out there about how she didn't even really want Trump to be doing this. She didn't want any part of it. But now I guess that he's won, she's back cashing in, right? I mean, that should kind of that rubs me the wrong way a little bit, Casey. Am I just being unreasonable here?
So you're not interested in seeing this? Now, the release plans, they're still being finalized. They anticipate it will be the second half of 2025. So what you're saying is that what you see of Melania Trump doing the dance, the YMCA down in Florida, that's enough for you. You don't need to witness any more.
Well, look, you did a lifestyle show for many years on television, so you are interested in famous people and fashion and the way famous people live their lives, and then that's maybe the target audience, obviously, that they're gearing towards. And I think they're banking on probably people in Trump's orbit. They'll want to watch it if you're a Trump fan, if you're a Trump voter. people just don't interest me that much, Casey. I don't. I pretty much limited my docu viewing to like true crime, and that's about it. If it's not Dateline or 48 Hours, I did watch. Let's see, what have I watched lately that would be docu series type stuff? The John Benet Ramsey documentary on Netflix. And then Peacock, I think, had some new thing on the Night Stalker, and I watched both of those over Christmas break. That's about it. Famous people just don't interest me all that much, Casey. People who do things, now they do interest me.
So you're not going to be watching the Meghan Markle show on, I believe that's on Netflix, Her Lifestyle, which is completely getting panned. She actually had to rent the house that they filmed in. It's like a couple blocks down from her real house. Like, she doesn't want you to see the inside of her real house, so they rented a house down the road where she could film that in.
No, wait. So she was a B or C rate actress, right? And then she marries and Prince Harry. She totally guts the royal family. They get a podcast together, right? It bombs. Wasn't there? Was it Spotify or someplace like that? Didn't they? And it was terrible. It did terrible ratings after the first couple ones or whatever. Now she's back.
Oh yeah, oh come on now. You've seen the promo for this, haven't you? It's been everywhere.
Where, Casey? Where would I see the promo for?
I'm looking right at
you
the camera.
You tell me, Casey.
It's been all over X, and I know you're all over X. You have to have seen this.
I haven't seen. No. What in my orbit? Where would I come in contact with a promo for Meghan Markle? What channel is it on?
It's on Netflix. It's out right now.
No, there's no possible reason I would see any promotion for this.
Yeah,
there's no algorithm that would put me in touch with Meghan Markle.
Yeah, I guess that's it. But she's cooking. She's collecting honey from beehives. She's got a chef with her, teaching her how to make things, and it's supposed to be an entire lifestyle show. And she's got friends around her, and they're laughing and having a good old time. It seems,
isn't it interesting?
Seems a little out of touch to me.
I know we got to get to break, but maybe we can get into this when we come back about the Colt, about Irsay coming out and announcing that he's going to keep the Goof Troop. But isn't it fascinating? And we'll go to the break with this, and we can ponder this during the break. Isn't it interesting that there just appear to be certain people in certain positions that no matter what you do, you just can't, you can't get rid of them? And she appears to be one of these people. Other than the fact that she married this guy who's a goof in and of himself and highly unlikable. Like, what has she produced? Why would they think? I mean, look at how bad the podcast did. And yet, right here she is again. And I guess they're just going to throw a bunch more money at her, or already did.
Trying to be a lifestyle influencer. Well, you're right. Indianapolis finished the season 8-9. The Colts, we have to talk about it, coming up from 93 WIBC.
We knew it was coming.
This dangerous storm. Where the snow's going to hit, the timing of the snow. Ice and snow.
Now it's here.
Slick roads and sidewalks.
Additional accumulations.
It is definitely dangerous.
And we'll be here with you.
2 jackknife semis. More Indy DPW plows out right now.
Close to 200 flight cancellations.
Continuing coverage on your official severe winter weather station.
Crashes and some slide-offs in the area.
93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
2025, new year, maybe a new home? If you're ready to get started building your dream home, take a look at what Joyner Homes can do for you. Joyner Homes will be at the Indianapolis Home Show from January 17th through the 26th in booth number 459. This is a great opportunity for you to learn more about their streamlined custom home building process and meet the team members who will work directly with you throughout the entire home building journey. Your dream home made simple with Joyner Homes. JoynerHomes.com.
Pat Sullivan here. Fire emergency? I've had one. If you do, call Michaelis. Owner Richard Michaelis explains why.
Michaelis is local and family owned. 39 years of experience with 24/7, 365 response. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified, restoring your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
And Michaelis helps you through the insurance process, giving you peace of mind. Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Book your custom patio project before March 1st and save up to $2,500. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
The new year is here. Time for change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI with My Computer Career in just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
The Colts finished another disappointing season, raising questions about the team's future. Also, their leadership, but Jim Irsay, he answered those questions last night. We have to talk about this, Rob. Colts in their longest playoff drought in his ownership. However, they did beat the Jaguars in their last game of the regular season, 26-23, but they did fail to make the playoffs. Tickets, I believe, were going for, what was it, $2 that I saw on the secondary market? $2 in the secondary market. Hey, by the way, did you see the roof wasn't open yesterday?
It's okay, so a couple things. Let's get into this, right?
Okay.
My favorite thing on Twitter is when I post about the roof, and I'll always say the same thing: $100 million of taxpayer money just completely wasted. People will just respond and go, "Oh, there's a pending snowstorm. Did you want the roof to be open today?" And it's no, it has nothing to do with the roof being open today. What it has to do with is somebody posted this article from the Indy Star, and I don't know exactly when this was. It was a recent article from the Indy Star that said that roof has been open, I think they claimed 39 times. It's been 15 or 16 years that stadium has been open. It's not known exactly how much the retractable roof cost. It's believed. You talk to people like Jake Query, who are more in touch with it than I am, that it was about $100-ish million. So essentially, you've paid, if you believe those numbers, $100 million. Taxpayers have paid $100 million to finance something that has, number one, had zero economic impact. There's not a single thing that has come to the city of Indianapolis because we had a retractable roof. Nothing. Zero. It has had no benefit other than to be a play toy for Jim Irsay. And two, the thing has been open 39-ish times over 15 or 16 years. That means you're paying what? $2.5 million per opening? Does that, at a time where you've got all of these problems that are facing us as a state and as a city, does that seem like it was a really good use of taxpayer money? And yet the people, oh, you're so negative about everything. I can't believe you think the roof should be open during a snowstorm. No, it's the retractable roof in general was a complete waste of taxpayer resources.
But it was the big fancy thing to have at the time, right? And as you mentioned, that stadium 15 years old, so will he have Jim Irsay, will he have his hand out again soon for upgrades or possibly even a new stadium?
Well, this is what's fascinating to this about me, the people who just, and Twitter is just the best and the worst, right? Because there's tons of brilliant, really funny people on there, and then there's just complete crazy people who get so upset over criticizing that stadium. Look, the Colts were supposed to be, the investment in that stadium, $700 whatever million it was, I mean, with interest, et cetera, it's well over $1 billion, was supposed to be this economic development driver for the city of Indianapolis. And the big scam on this was that they essentially, like, bribe's a strong word, Casey, but they figured out a creative way to convince the donut counties to participate in the funding process. And so I, as a taxpayer in Hendricks County, am responsible for funding that stadium. So I get to have an opinion on it. I get to talk about when I think that my government is not living up to the deal they made with me. And the reality is they got in bed with a joke of a franchise that is run by an owner who has no business at this point running absolutely anything. And what are we now? How many years has it been since we had a home playoff game? Is it 10 years now since we've had a home playoff game? So you've got a team that is regularly not in contention, which means after about the fourth or fifth home game, people aren't participating anymore en masse. You saw what yesterday looked like. So the supposedly great economic drivers getting you 4 or 5 home games, maybe 6, where the stadium is full. Then it tails off. There's no additional home games. What are we as taxpayers getting out of the Indianapolis Colts? The answer appears to be bupkis.
Well, a lot of people would argue, Rob, that it's not just the Indianapolis Colts, though. You have to consider the Big Ten Championship. We had the swimming time trials, of course, the Taylor Swift concert, and those are all economic drivers to the area as well.
Well, okay, but the problem with that is it's not just this downtown Indianapolis area, which is gets the overwhelming benefit from that's paying for it. You have all of the donut counties, but Morgan County, who are paying for that stadium. I didn't get anything as a Brownsburg taxpayer out of the Taylor Swift concert. Great for the city. Make those people pay for it. I don't get anything out of the Big Ten Championship being here. Make those people pay for it. And the reality is when you have this franchise who is run by this guy who clearly is not serious about winning. He's clearly not serious about accountability. He has some what appears very serious health issues that may be clouding his already suspect judgment. If you're a taxpayer, you're looking at this and saying, I was forced into this relationship with this team. They're not holding up their end of the bargain, and now they're bringing back the same management that has year after year after year failed the taxpayers of the city of Indianapolis by not putting a winning team on the field.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Colts finishes in the AFC. The best run they had was in 2018, where they finished 6th. This year, they're going to be 9th, I believe it is. And the head coach, Shane Steichen, he was asked about this, if he expected that he would be back with the Colts next season. And this is what he said.
Yeah, we'll have those ongoing conversations. Obviously, I love being the head football coach here. Love everything about it. Love this team. Obviously, we'll have an evaluation process, early on this week. But I'm excited to be here.
Okay, so he said early on this week, but it was last night when Jim Irsay put out that note, and he said, he's going to be back, and so's Ballard.
Well, but the bigger issue than Steichen is Ballard, because Ballard is the thread for 8 years of this now, of poor decisions, of poor team assembly, of bad drafting. I mean, every standard by which you said if this guy were running your company, you would fire him. And I said this on Twitter. Running the Colts has basically become a government job at this point, in which there's no sense of accountability, results don't matter, and as long as you just keep your head down and your mouth shut, you're basically unfireable. I mean, at what point? This guy has failed. Ballard has failed by every standard possible. And to me, it's more than just, hey, being a fan of the Indianapolis Colts. I, by force, am invested in the Indianapolis Colts. So you're darn right. I'm going to voice my displeasure when this goofy, eclectic owner, this trust fund kid who basically inherited everything that he has from his dad and then strong-armed the taxpayers into building him this stadium, which is a huge part and plays a huge role in his multi-billion-dollar net worth, is making horrific, horrible decisions that's harming a franchise that we were sold that their success will be an economic driver for the city, and that's why I should invest in them as a taxpayer.
Yeah, Jim Irsay said that he's been evaluating the entire operation, and he believes in Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen and their collective ability to make the improvements needed to take us to the next level in 2025. Now, my question for you is, have you heard this before from Jim Irsay, that these people would take us to the next level?
Nobody believes any of it, Casey. What about this franchise that would anybody go, oh, they're really close? Did Anthony Richardson get any better this year? Did anybody look at this and go, wow, what a stellar year for him? Did anybody look at the assembly of this team and go, ooh, they're really, really close? No, nobody believes that. And you're going to have the same people making the same types of choices, and it's going to be the same thing over and over again, which I don't care about if Jim Irsay's paying his own way, if Jim Irsay's paying his own freight. If Jim Irsay wants to have a horribly run team performing badly, then that's on him. But that's not the way this is operating. I am funding Jim Irsay's team. I am funding Jim Irsay's poor decisions. I am funding by force Jim Irsay's running this franchise into the ground and underachieving year in and year out, and I shouldn't have to do it.
So you do get a say in it. And we've got your say coming up. We've got a couple voicemails on the way from 93 WIBC.
B is offering 1 bath remodel for as low as $99 a month or get 2 bath remodels for as low as $249 a month. Call now to schedule that free in-home design consultation.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Getting certified. Light snow still falling throughout central Indiana. Starting to taper off a bit, though. 21 on Monument Circle. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Congress is set to meet today to certify the results of the 2024 election that saw Donald Trump win the White House. Members of the House and Senate will be meeting at 1 o'clock to count the electoral votes from all 50 states and the District of Columbia, with Vice President Kamala Harris reading aloud each state's results. President Biden is blocking any future drilling for oil for the time being. Fox's Jared Halpern.
The president is protecting the entire U.S. coast, as well as portions of the Gulf of Mexico, Pacific coast, and northern Bering Sea from future oil and gas leasing. In all, the ban blocked 625 million acres of U.S. ocean from drilling. President Biden says his decision reflects what coastal communities, businesses, and beachgoers have long known. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
President-elect Trump is asking a judge to delay his sentencing in his New York criminal hush money case. On Friday, Judge Juan Merchan set January 10th as Trump's sentencing date. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. 317-480-4040. That's 317-480-4040.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and the holidays are gone, and it's time to get your house back to the clean you love. And Zerorez is doing their part to help with their best offer of 24% off all their cleaning services. All of them. Floors, tiles, carpets, rugs, upholstery, even your air ducts. Don't miss this deal. Get it all Zerorez-ified with a 24% off January sale. Look, this is the best Zerorez offer I've ever seen, and it won't last long. The Zerorez pros know how to get your carpets and floors and rugs and upholstery and ductwork too really clean. And they can help you deal with the deeply embedded dirt, dander, and allergens, not to mention the pet stains and some of your stains. The game changer is the patented ZR water that uses no soap, leaves no residue, and there are no harsh chemicals because they just aren't needed to get things really clean. I just love these folks. Just call them. Mention WIBC, get 24% off right now. Call 317-388-5141 or book things online at ZerorezIndy.com.
It's not easy being a high schooler these days.
We juggle a lot each day between schoolwork, activities, jobs, and friends.
On top of all that, we're multi-sport student athletes. I'm Danae Klein, and I play volleyball, basketball, and softball for South Putnam High School.
And I'm Tyler Stanger, a wrestler and track and field student athlete at East Central High School.
It's hard physically and mentally exhausting yourself in practice.
It's hard coming back and doing it again the next day and the next and the next.
It's hard competing at a high level week in and week out.
But life is hard, and high school sports prepare us for it.
With every practice, every game, every win, and every loss.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. Be a champion of high school sports and the life lessons they teach by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is developing character, perseverance, and work ethic. This is preparing for life. This is your IHSAA.
This is a severe weather alert from the Chapman Heating and Air Conditioning Storm Desk.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC, and the snow continues to fall, and it will throughout the day. Of course, we'll keep you updated right here on 93 WIBC. Let's get to some voicemails, Kevin.
Joe again. I just got done listening to you girls whine about a little bit of snow. Hey, I grew up in northern Indiana. You never knew what morning you were going to wake up and have 8 or 10 inches on the streets. And I still managed to go to work every day. I'm certain Casey did too. She's a northern Indiana girl. And I love your solution. You should be able to stay home because she lives 5 minutes from work, and she can walk out in the freezing sleet on the unshoveled sidewalks to get to work to make sure that the show gets on the air. Great solution. Bye.
Rob, somebody wants to call and give you a hard time for not coming into work today. That's what that was.
Well, look, here's the deal, Casey. I don't know if you know this, but our show is number one. Did you know this?
I
We are
did.
number one.
I saw that.
And as the part of having the number one show, our management has, for who knows what reason, probably shouldn't, but placed some level of trust in me that I do know what I'm doing in terms of how to orchestrate a radio program. And through the power of technology, it sounds like I'm sitting right there next to you. If this were 1953 and we were on a couple of tin cans, then it might have been a little bit different. But, I do know how to. I don't know much about technology, but I'm pretty good at radio gear, and so I did know how to plug this little guy up, and thus, I'm no good to anyone if I'm in a ditch somewhere, Casey.
This is true. You're not going to turn this into a habit, are you? Like, this isn't like one step closer to becoming Tony Katz, is it?
No, I like getting out of the house. I like getting away, from everything. But, see, people need to understand, when I'm on vacation, I work much harder than when I do at work because you do all of the work. So thus, Matt was like, our boss, Matt Himlin, last week when I was getting ready to come back, he's like, did you have a nice, restful vacation? Oh, Matt, you and your drugs.
You are so silly. No, you were working hard. By the way, speaking of Tony Katz, he was he got some big award, didn't he? He was number one in something. Not just the ratings. I think Barrett News Media said that he was the best of the best.
Yes, every year Barrett News Media, which is a big national organization that covers media across the fruited plain, they have a rating. They do it at the beginning of the year for each time slot. So I think they do morning show, and then they do midday, and then they do afternoon show, and they do what kind of they call a by market size. And by one of the market sizes, Tony was number one. We've been on that top 10 multiple times, both me and both of the blonde ladies, you and the lady that was here before you. I think the middays come out tomorrow, so hopefully we crack the Barrett.
Yeah, hopefully we'll crack the
suffer.
Yeah, you're cutting out. So while you figure out you and your you just said how good you were with technology, and now you cut out. The irony there is thick. Kind of like the
can
snow.
You hear?
So let's move on to another phone call, and this one is about the blizzard of '78.
Okay, guys, I hear you talk about the snow, and you don't want to hear about the blizzard of 78, which I will tell you right now, the blizzard of 78, it was a week and a half before we got out. They had to bring bulldozers down the roads to clear the roads. Now, a little more modern, 2004, I live south of Columbus, Indiana. We had 30 inches of snow. It was about 3 to 4 days before we got out. My husband actually took a tractor with a blade because the counties wasn't coming down the road to start clearing roads. And there was ice. So, yes, we've had more than 6 inches. So I just thought I'd let you know about that. You guys have a great day. Bye.
I remember the blizzard of 78, and we would actually build igloos. You know, they would come through and plow the road, and all of that snow would go up by the curb, and we built igloos and played in it for a very long time. Now, Rob, you don't remember the blizzard of 78 because you weren't around then, but you might recall the snow of, she said, 2004, where there were 30 inches and they lost power. I did get word from AEP this morning that they weren't having a whole lot of issues. Now, there were some areas down in southern Indiana where they did lose power, but for the most part here in central Indiana, there weren't power outages because of the snow.
Casey, can you hear me now?
I can. Did you get it fixed?
Okay, very good.
I'm so
yes,
glad.
I did. Thank you very much. Yes, I'd like your apology now because you made some snide comment about me and the technology that that I was able to fix this. Wait, when you say igloos, do you mean like a literal igloo?
Yeah, I do. I mean, like with the snow, we would block it up and make igloos. Yeah, and play in it. You know, it's what you did.
That's okay. So how? We have younger listeners. We have a lot of older listeners that were around for the blizzard of 78. But can you kind of reset by compare it to today? What are we experiencing today? And then from your ironclad file cabinet, highly secured memory, can you compare that to what we experienced in 1978?
Well, today what we're experiencing here in central Indiana would be just like any random Tuesday in the winter in northern Indiana. So to me, this is just, a lake effect type snow, which would happen all the time. But the blizzard of 78, it was just so much snow and it lasted for so long. I was like the little kid from A Christmas Story, in the snowsuit. I can't put my arms down because that's the way it was. And you were, school was canceled like today, but it was just so high. It was as tall as I was. I was a little kid, 8 years old. And so when the snow is taller than you are, that's a whole lot of snow, especially in your memory.
So if you were 8 years old in 78, then I'm off when I told everyone you were 61 years old. I just took a stab at it.
Yeah, you were off. You should maybe rethink your math there. Here's another phone call. Now, you and Indy Spanglish, you must have been talking about state employee bonuses. Did you mention something about that?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, somebody wanted to call and talk about that.
Holcomb gave.
Go ahead.
Well, Holcomb gave out $1,250 bonuses across the board to all of the executive branch employees, and our point on this was, there are probably some people who have worked very hard at the state and deserve bonuses, no doubt. But there's zero way that all 32,000 people have performed at a level that deserve a bonus. And at a cost of $22 million, you're repeatedly told, oh, there's no money to help you with property taxes, or we can't fund the roads without increasing your gas tax again. And yet they just have this money laying around. Clearly they are giving it to people when you're dealing with 32,000 people who didn't earn that money. Not all of them earned that money.
All right, well, here's a phone call regarding that.
Hey, Rob, just heard your piece. Hey, Rob, the $1,250 state bonus that you were just talking about, the employees aren't too happy about that either. It gets overtaxed, and then they decide that's all there is. So the performance appraisals mean nothing. There's no cost of living increase. The state employees are not happy about this. Holcomb did this once before, and it's basically a slap in the puss, because all you end up taking home for a year's worth of work as an underpaid state employee is a few $100. So many of us would just assume he'd leave it alone because it makes all the HR busy work the rest of the year pointless. Thank you.
Okay, so there's somebody who's on your side. They'd rather have performance-based increases rather than just a blanket bonus at the end of the year for everybody.
Well, and we told the story about, I mean, look, government is never going to run efficiently. And we've told the story about how when I was the pharmacy board director and Pence creates this big merit pool thing and he touts it as this, private sector thing coming to the government. And so, you evaluate your employees. And I had these two great employees that were doing the work of 5 people. And I gave them the exceeds expectations mark so they'd get the highest raises. And then the manager comes back to me and goes, oh, you're going to have to change this because we've already exceeded the merit pool. And I said, well, Mr. Pence didn't say anything about there being a cap on the merit pool. Where did all of our money go? And then you figured out that the upper brass, the top earners, gave themselves all exceeds expectations, so they got all the money and they stuck it to the regular people. Government is horribly run. Our state is horribly run. It would fail 100 times if you had to do it in the private sector. Eric Holcomb is an incredibly lazy governor, disinterested in details on how things run, and thus, as this lady said, he does does this lazy thing where it doesn't reward the top employees. He just gives it to everyone at a rate they're going to be taxed higher, and everybody ends up pissed off.
Yeah. But did you see that article in Indiana Capital Chronicle that just came out that he wouldn't change a thing? He's just like Kamala Harris. He wouldn't change a thing. We've got time for one more phone call, and this one, there was a survey that came out that said a quarter of Americans find that keeping their house clean is more difficult than their full-time job. And Nathan wanted to call about that.
Hello, this is Nathan listening all the way from Boston. And I just heard the statistic that you read about people finding it more difficult to clean their homes than work their full-time jobs. I just want to say I fully agree with that statement. Now, it does make me curious about two things. I wonder how much those statistics correlate with the rate of depression across the American populace. That's number one. Number two, I think the second reason people would find it more difficult to clean their homes is the prioritization of not using, dangerous chemicals, I think is what you all said. Listen, let me tell you something. Hey, I've been there, done that, okay? And don't nothing clean like bleach and ammonia. So you want to use all that natural stuff? Listen, that's why your house ain't clean.
Well, you could probably relate with that, Rob. You find doing things around the house harder than it is to come and do your full-time job. You say it all the time. You work harder when you're at home than when you're here.
Yeah, that's right. Is Hammer joining us next?
He is. It's 93 WIBC.
You're just minutes away from another severe weather update. Brought to you by Chapman Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hammer and Nigel show. Man, what a weekend. The latest on the weather, the biggest stories in Indy, and it's Monday Gun Day. 93 WIBC.
Has the holiday season left you overwhelmed, stressed out, and overweight? Do you feel frustrated when you think about what you need to do to be healthy and feel better? You deserve a simple approach to a stronger, healthier, and more enjoyable life. Exercise Inc. has been helping people in Central Indiana reach their health and fitness goals for 20 years. The approach is simple. Strength train with a certified coach once a week for 20 minutes. Adopt the 9 simple habits you need to follow to change your health and lose weight. Then get out there and enjoy life because you'll be stronger and have more energy and you're going to feel better and you'll lose weight and you'll probably even look better too. And you may even be able to get off of some of those prescription medications. Exercise Inc., Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers. The studios are private, no mirrors, no music, and no spandex. Just you and a professional coach working to reach your goals for the new year. Go to exerciseinc.com today to sign up for a free consultation.
Let's talk about something that's on everyone's mind, staying safe online. From tech scams to data leaks, we've all heard the horror stories. But here's the good news. McAfee Total Protection has your back. Hey there, it's Casey Daniels. With McAfee Total Protection, you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. Not a tech expert? No problem. McAfee makes it simple to protect yourself from even the sneakiest online scammers. You can shop, bank, and stream online with confidence. McAfee's got your devices, your privacy, and your identity covered. Right now, get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 for your first year. That's right, $39.99. So visit McAfee.com/online protection. Stay safe online, worry less. Cancel anytime. Terms apply. apply.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, and if you're ready to start the new year taking care of you, then my friends at Hope Plumbing are here to help. For the month of January, get softer skin and hair, spotless glassware, take better care of your home appliances, and save money with a $200 off any new water softener. Let's celebrate the new year with the gift of soft water and ditch annoying scale buildup, failing appliances, and rough skin and nails. Call my friends at Hope Plumbing today.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
B is offering 1 bath remodel for as low as $99 a month or get 2 bath remodels for as low as $249 a month. Call now to schedule that free in-home design consultation.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Can you come get me? I'll be lying on the floor.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Brian Regan, January 9th at Clues Memorial Hall.
More info online at WIBC.com.
From the #1 rated Hammer and Nigel show, Jason Hammer is in the studio with Kendall and Casey, or at least Casey on 93 WIBC.
Great choice of song there by DJ Kev on the ones and twos over there.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my 2 go-to karaoke songs.
Yeah.
Depending on the mood of the crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will either do Ice Ice Baby, where we change the lyrics from Beach Run Avenue to Beach Grove Avenue, or a very thrusting version of Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. It depends on the crowd.
Nice.
But yeah, where's Rob? Rob, where are you?
Home.
Why? Why is old Rob Katz too good to come in the studio here? Tony Katz Jr. couldn't make it into work today, but Casey's here. Kevin's here. That no good, rotten, soft-ass Jeff Rickard is here, and I see him through the window, Rob.
You just don't negotiate good deals. That's all I could say. That's why our country's back again. We got people like me back in charge who negotiate great deals, and I negotiated the ability to work from my underwear today, so sorry about you.
Okay, that's fine. You do that. Meanwhile, I went into this Grok feature on my phone and said, what are some alternative ways to call someone a weenie?
Oh.
Because I usually
use of
save
Grok.
the term weenie for Tim Kaine, Hillary Clinton's old running mate. He is the official weenie of the Hammer and Nigel show. But it goes on to say, remember, using such terms can be offensive or derogatory, so consider the context and relationship with the person before using these. But since it's Rob, I think we're fine.
Yeah,
So
go for
Casey,
it.
my challenge to you is to use any one of these terms that AI came up with to describe Rob
I'm
today.
going to take notes.
Wimp, coward, chicken, pushover, sissy, softy, milquetoast, yellow belly, scaredy cat, panty waist, nervous Nelly, and faint heart. So any one of those.
Faint heart.
Yellow belly might be one of my favorites. It kind of reminds me of Clark Griswold in the original Vacation film when he's in the Wild West. Hey, yellow belly! And he accidentally gets shot.
How long did it take you to get in today?
What
was your experience?
So normally it takes me anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes front door to the radio station. Today was about 25.
Yeah.
There's nobody out, by the way. Like, I know this is like a return to work day. There is nobody out in the roads at all. Everybody was kind of cool. I've seen the roads better, but I've seen them worse. That's not the worst thing I've seen. For the most part, the few people that were out were going slow, giving each other space. The only difficulty you run into is if you come up to like a stoplight or something, because sometimes people have a hard time getting going again. But I will say this, and we're going to talk about this afternoon. I don't know what type of vehicles you guys have, but four-wheel drive guy feels like this is his Pro Bowl today. This is the all-star game for four-wheel drive guy. You see him out there, and he's doing 50 in a school zone, and he's doing donuts. I got four-wheel drive. I don't wipe my butt. This is his time to shine. This is his most important day of the year, so be careful of four-wheel drive guy.
Yeah, or Jeep girl. Because she feels pretty confident.
Did you say cheap girl?
Jeep girl.
Oh, okay.
Jeep girl. She felt pretty confident on her way into the radio
station.
station.
Cheap girl never feels confidence, and that's why she's cheap.
No, not cheap girl. Jeep girl.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So, impressions on the Colts and what Jim Irsay put out yesterday.
Sucks. And we'll have more this afternoon on the Hammer and Nigel show. But no, that is such a middle finger to this fan base, right? To the people who have supported this team for the last decade without seeing one AFC South championship. Now, mind you, it's not like the AFC South is the hardest division in football here. It's usually the absolute worst. And everybody's won this thing twice in the last decade, but the Colts haven't won it once. And your response is to go out there and put some tweet out saying, oh, yeah, we're running it back. Okay. That is just unacceptable to me. And if you're one of these guys that thinks that's fine, you're also probably one of these guys that has a wife that's running around doing all types of different dudes on the side, and you feel like that's okay, too. I mean, this is unacceptable. And I'm sorry, but people are going to have to let the Irsay family know that this ain't going to fly. Like, no, you're going to bring this back? You're going to bring all of this back. You don't have a quarterback. Your defense stinks. And I was telling Casey off the air, Rob, yesterday after the game, you had Zaire Franklin. He's got the podcast. Now, he's a Pro Bowl linebacker, but he's feuding with Pat McAfee, goes up to the empty suites where McAfee normally was because nobody attended yesterday. That suite was empty,
yeah.
And starts like shaking hands with the air and trolling people. Not only do they lose, but they're unlikable. And somebody's got to let the Irsay family know.
What do you have coming up this afternoon?
Well, I am going to have the latest on this weather situation, travel advisories. We got Guy Relford. We got Marcus Bailey. We're giving away Brian Regan tickets. Kevin Bowen will join us. We're going to have a day.
Nice. Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Panty waist, yellow belly, scaredy cat,
softy, wimp,
milk toast.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is DayQuil VapoCool.
DayQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
For all your home's heating, plumbing, and drain needs, remember the man for all seasons. Chapman. Furnace tune-ups right now, only $89. Schedule online today at chapmanheating.com. That's chapmanheating.com. Book your custom patio project before March 1st and save up to $2,500. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Coming up in 2 minutes, the snow is moving out, but that's not the end of the winter weather troubles. Plus, some words of advice for the incoming administration from Governor Eric Holcomb, and John Herrick reports on the future of the Colts. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WYBC, WYBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
Making the Trump election victory official. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Congress will convene next hour, and Fox's Chad Pergam reports from the Capitol.
This is the last step in the presidential election. Vice President Harris presides over the meeting of both the House and Senate in her capacity as president of the Senate.
And Harris will then certify her own defeat to President-elect Trump. Of course, 4 years ago today, Trump supporters stormed the Capitol in a riot attempting to block the Biden election certification. And Fox's Jared Halpern reports from the White House.
President Biden says we should commit to remembering January 6, 2021 every year. Writing in a Washington Post op-ed, there is an unrelenting effort to rewrite and erase the history and explain it away as a protest that just got out of hand. President-elect Trump has described January 6th as a day of love and suggested pardons for some of the defendants convicted.
Now an update on the Trump New York conviction.
Attorneys for President-elect Donald Trump are asking Judge Juan Merchan to pause Friday's scheduled sentencing in Trump's hush money case while they appeal to block a ruling upholding the verdict, rejecting Trump's bid to throw out the conviction and dismiss the indictment because he's returning to the White House. The president-elect was found guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records by a jury in May.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. President Biden will soon travel to New Orleans, where this afternoon he'll meet with victims' families from the New Year's Day terror attack. Hours after Biden order to preserve 625 million acres of ocean, banning more offshore oil and gas drilling off the entire East Coast, parts of the Pacific Coast, and the Gulf of Mexico. Incoming White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt blames environmental radicals.
The intent behind it is to exact political revenge on the American people and on President Trump.
He's pledged to a drill, baby, drill plan to increase production. A winter storm has closed schools, caused more than 300,000 power outages, Missouri to Virginia. More than 1,500 flights canceled. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Starting to get some relief. Still some light snow to the southeast on radars. It's 22 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. The snowfall is starting to subside, but that doesn't mean that's the end of concerns when it comes to winter weather.
Even though the snow's going to stop tonight, we're still expecting snow to stay on the roads. It's going to be very cold out, so snow-covered roads are definitely going to be an issue for the next few days until they get cleared out.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service. He also says that temperatures will get colder as the week goes on, which may lead to some ice forming on roadways. Governor Eric Holcomb's term ends next Monday. He says that he has some words of wisdom for when Mike Braun takes over as governor.
My caution would be don't fix what's not broken. But we do need to always try to improve.
Talking to Inside Indiana Business, he says the state has a bright economic future due to the investments in business that his administration has made during his 8 years leading the state. A person shot near Brownsburg overnight. It was not far from the Marion Hendricks County line. Sheriff's deputies there say they got the call about shots fired at a home in the Pollard Park neighborhood. That's where they found a person wounded and took them to the hospital. Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel are suing President Biden and the union that represents steelworkers in the U.S. The case being sought over Biden's decision to block Nippon's bid to buy U.S. Steel for $15 billion. Many workers at the Gary Steelworks in Indiana say the president's decision was the right one. Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay has made a decision that he knows will not be very popular among fans. John Herrick explains.
On the social media platform X, Irsay said he is deciding to keep both his
general manager Chris Ballard and his head coach Shane Steichen going into the 2025 season. He also acknowledged that they have a lot to prove, and he understands the frustrations of the fans. Ballard has been the Colts general manager for 8 seasons, and in those 8 years, the Colts only have 2 playoff appearances and 1 playoff victory, and they missed the playoffs again this year. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Monday, January 6th. It is 5 minutes after 11 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So that winter storm warning remains in effect for most of central Indiana. That will happen until 7 p.m. tonight. Snowfall totals in Indiana have ranged from roughly an inch in Muncie to 8.5 inches in Jasper. That was recorded last night. Of course, there have been a lot of accidents reported. The Indiana State Police say 151 crashes with 12 injuries, 76 slide-offs, 103 motorist assists, and 67 travel hazards. There have been 259 crashes statewide and 271 slide-offs throughout the entire state of Indiana. So many people still slow going on the roads this morning as you try and make your way around. Of course, that's what the police and the snow plow drivers would like from you, is to take it slow, and if you don't have to get out, stay at home. Enjoy the family room today. Just extend that Christmas vacation holiday just one more day, Rob.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head, which is if you don't have to be out, don't do it. The roads are deceptively slick and still deceptively dangerous. It appears as the snow is beginning to taper off that hopefully by later today that will no longer be a thing. And the reality is some people have jobs where they just simply have to be at work. And for those people, use extreme caution. But if you don't, we live in 2024. We don't live in 1964 anymore. Most jobs, as we proved during COVID, you can do in some sort of remote type of fashion. And I think employers now more than ever want to be accommodating to those sort of things. Look, I mean, the reason I'm working from home today, all kidding aside, is I own a car that I didn't think would be conducive to these sorts of conditions. Now, if I really, really, really wanted to get there and take 3 hours to drive there and back, could I do it? Probably. But what? No. Hopefully, we saw that as well.
He's talking about how the technology will solve the problem. You're cutting out a little bit, Rob, so jiggle the wire there. But as you're sitting...
Well, I've done...
How's that? He jiggled the wire again.
Everything working.
It's kind of comical. I can hear you getting frustrated in clips, actually. Say something. Can you hear me now?
Hello, check 1 2. Can everyone hear me?
There we go. Well, as you're sitting around the house this year, for first-time home buyers, making up just 24% of the market share. And that is a sharp drop from 32% back in 2023. And it's the lowest it's been since NRA has been recording this data in over 40 years. So perhaps we should discuss why the American dream of owning property is dying. The average age has risen from 35 to a 38-year-old. And in the U.S., first-time home buyers making up just 24% of the market. Now, you're sitting at your home, Rob, and was that the first house you bought?
No, this is the second house I bought.
Second house. Okay. Yeah. So we've got, lack of inventory, right? There are an estimated 4 to 7 million homes. We're facing a shortage of this. And you've also got the higher house prices, which is just making home ownership more difficult for many people. Zoning restrictions also contributing to the shortage of affordable homes for many people as well. You've also got the higher mortgage rate,
Yeah,
too.
and I think that's the big thing, right, Case? Yeah, I think that's the big thing, right, is why is it harder for people to get into homes? And I think there's a bevy of reasons. I think you touched on several of them. And I think the biggest thing is we have seen an explosion in the price of homes because of during the COVID era, money got so inexpensive that these mega corporations were able to come in. They were going to have more money to begin with. They were able to then get money on the cheap. And you have regular individuals who are just trying to buy a home to live in versus people who are buying homes for profit. So the moment they purchase that home, it becomes a profit machine. And because of the affordability of money, especially for large corporations, so many people got pushed out of homes during that 2020, 2021, 2022 period when money was, quote, affordable. Now that money is not affordable, these people are still stuck, but for a different reason.
Yeah. And you've got 94% of Americans still viewing home ownership as part of the American dream. 38% believe it's less important than before. But for those 38%, you're even seeing that rent is increasingly unaffordable for many people. Did you know, this is an interesting statistic that I saw, Americans move an average of 11 times in their lifetime. And that is contributing a lot to this lack of home ownership as well. You know, you're moving, but they're going from apartment to apartment and not to homes because they just quite frankly can't afford it.
Yeah, I know somebody, Casey, who should have a lot of money, a friend of mine, and they are having trouble currently with their finances. And one of the reasons they're having trouble with their finances, when you started looking at their books and asking them questions and going, hey, wow, how did this happen to you, is the amount of times they've had to move and the cost that's been involved in moving. Every single time you move, you are just basically lighting money on fire.
Yeah. Did you see that Costco is building apartments above its stores? And they're trying to address this affordable housing crisis, and they're going to start doing that early next year. So imagine you just walk downstairs and you get that $1.50 hot dog. So the apartments above the Costco, it includes free membership to the Costco, also a rooftop pool, fitness areas, gardens, courtyards, community space. But can you imagine living upstairs from a Costco? That would be, I mean, you know, there are some people who live on top of the shop, right? Especially more of a mom and pop business. But imagine living above a Costco. You would have nonstop traffic in and out. It would be a very noisy and busy place to call home.
Casey, if you're a single man, hear me out here with this. If you're a single man, this is a chick magnet opportunity. Think about how you could market yourself. I live on top of a Costco.
You think that's going to do the trick? The Los Angeles is going to have the first residential complex. They're going to have 800 apartments and the Costco store. I guess the good side of that is that if you ever, you know, run out of anything, you just run downstairs, right? Except you have to get, a really huge quantity of whatever it is that you ran out of. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. So the Trump transition team memo came out urging nominees to not post on social media. Hey, Rob, did you see that Jim Banks was sworn in as a senator?
Hey, good for him, Casey. I'm not going to say anything that's going to get myself in trouble today. Nice try.
I don't know if you saw the makeup of the new Congress, but there are 26 Mikes or Michaels elected to the 119th Congress. John is the second most popular name, 22 members named John. The most common birth month was February, and the most common birthday of the month is the 4th. It's pretty evenly split with 50-50 male-female gender split for the 119th Congress.
All right, Casey, why don't we take a break? When we take a break, I'm going to unplug this box and plug it back in and see if I broke something or not, and then hopefully I'll sound worlds better for everyone when we come back.
Sounds good. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Countless accidents.
Another update is just minutes away.
1,300 flight cancellations. Washington, D.C. could get a foot of snow.
Get the facts.
Somebody crashes on a snow-covered road.
Not just the talking points.
It's not the snow's fault. It's the way they were driving.
Hundreds of accidents.
On the level.
Road conditions deteriorating.
On the go.
Many of our roads are drifted shut.
Closings and delays.
We could get an additional 2 or 3 inches.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Book your custom patio project before March 1st and save up to $2,500. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they're doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
Hi, I'm Dwight Freeney. Recently, I had the honor of meeting some incredible kids who are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant here in Indiana. I saw firsthand the importance of saying yes to organ donation. It's not just about saving lives. It's about giving others the chance to grow up, play, and dream big. Signing up as an organ donor is quick and easy. It takes less than a minute, but the difference you can make lasts a lifetime. Learn more at donatelifeindiana.org.
It's Hammer and Nigel from Window Nation. Heating costs are getting out of control, and your best bet is to replace your cold, drafty windows with energy-efficient ones from Window Nation. Act now, and you'll save big with 50% off all window styles, plus you could get zero interest with zero payments for 2 years.
With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust Window Nation.
Hurry, this big sale ends January 31st, so schedule your free in-home consultation right now. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, guess what happened? Your president was handing out awards. On Saturday, he held a ceremony at the White House to present the Presidential Medal of Freedom to 19 individuals. That included Bono, Lionel Messi, Hillary Clinton, and also Jane Goodall. And the Medal of Freedom is the U.S. government's highest civilian award. It's honored to individuals who have made, what they say, exceptional contributions to the U.S. prosperity, values, world peace, and significant societal effects. However, Lionel Messi, he didn't even show up. He wasn't there. But you know who was there? Hillary Clinton was there, Rob, and she got one of the awards. Do you feel like maybe that was just perhaps a big middle finger to a lot of people as Joe Biden is walking out of the White House?
Oh, without a doubt, Casey, 100%. That was who are the people that'll piss Trump off the most. That's why they did it. Now, here's my question to you, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about Messi not showing up.
Mm-hmm.
If a president you didn't like offered you this award, would you show up and accept it?
Yes, I would. Because I would look at it as more of the office of the presidency, not the man. And if I had done something that they wanted to recognize me for that, yeah, I would want to go. Would you? You wouldn't do that?
Well, that's the question, right? Is would you show up if a president of the United States who you didn't like or you didn't care for wanted to offer you an award? Because essentially the president is saying you're deserving of this. And so, yeah, I don't know. No, I'm petty enough. I probably wouldn't go.
like if Eric Holcomb were to say you're going to get the Sagamore of the Wabash, you wouldn't want to accept it from him. if we take it down,
I wouldn't accept $100 from Eric Holcomb, Casey.
Well, here is Hillary Clinton getting her award.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded to Hillary Rodham Clinton. Hillary Rodham Clinton is guided by the Methodist Creed, do all the good you can in all the ways you can. As a lawyer, she defended the rights of children. As First Lady, she fought for universal health care and declared women's rights are human rights. As Senator, she helped New York rebuild after September 11, 2001. As Secretary of State, she championed democracy worldwide, and her nomination for president broke barriers and inspired generations. Through it all, her career has been dedicated to an eternal truth. America's ideals are sacred, and we must always defend and live by them.
They went on to say that she was being honored for her groundbreaking public service, including being the first lady elected to the U.S. Senate and also the first woman nominated for president by a major political party. You know what you didn't hear in that speech at all, Rob, was any reference to Benghazi.
Hillary Clinton is one of the most divisive people that has ever represented our country. I mean, look at her entire life, from the vast right-wing conspiracy comments when her husband was having an affair on her in the Oval Office, to the basket of deplorables comments when she was running for president. The reality is this woman, Casey, was rejected by the American people, not once, but twice. She had two chances, if her service was so great, if the American people loved her so much, to embrace her, and she was resoundingly rejected, not once but twice, a decade apart. And you were right, Casey, to start this segment. This is all about who can we put out there to be a giant middle finger to Trump, and she was at the top of the list.
Yeah. There were a few other people that received recognition. You had Anna Wintour, who is, the editor for Vogue magazine. Of course, she got an award because how many of Democrats have been on the cover of that magazine. You had Ralph Lauren also get an award, but Denzel Washington, another one. Michael J. Fox got an award as well. And it's just something to see who the president wants to decide to say these were the greats of the day as he's leaving. And then, Lionel Messi, who was supposed to receive the award, didn't show up at all. Did you see that the house, the Breaking Bad house, is up for sale? Did you ever watch that show, Breaking Bad?
No, but my wife and my father both love that show. I've seen episodes of it, and it's my understanding, one of the great, most popular shows of all time.
Yeah, the house that was featured in the TV series, up for sale in New Mexico, and it's located in Albuquerque, and it's for sale for $4 million. And there is a family that owns this house, and they agreed, we'll let you use our house for the exterior shots, a couple interior shots, but most of the interior shots that were done during the TV show were done in a studio. But the reason the family decided to sell the house for $4 million is because of the fans. Even though the TV show hasn't been on for a few years, fans often visit the home, and the family said that they have hundreds of cars that drive by daily, and they said that the home has become difficult to protect, even though they've installed a metal fence and security cameras, that now they just have to unload the home and they're going to get rid of it. The market value for the home, by the way, was only $340,000, but they put a list price on it for $4 million.
So here's the question for you, Casey, is there any home that you would pay a premium to live in based on where it was in a television series, like the Home Alone house or any? Obviously, look, some houses cost more than others, right, based on where they're at or geography or whatever. My question to you is, would you pay a serious premium to live in a house based on the fact that it was a house for a movie or a television show?
Not really, but if I were to pay just a little bit more for any specific house, I think it would have to be the Brady Bunch house, obviously, because it's iconic. It was you had the Jack and Jill bathroom for the boys' room and for the girls' room. By all accounts, that house looks to only be a 3-bedroom, for what we know, 1 bath. I'm sure the Bradys, they had a master bath somewhere, but the big staircase, big family room. They had some AstroTurf in the backyard, so the maintenance on that is going to be low. But they had the nice 2-car garage with the swing set and everything. So if I were to pay a little bit more just to be in a famous home, that one might be it. What about you?
I don't think there's a single movie that I'm attached to enough that I would pay extra money to live in the house. No, I don't know. Nothing. No, but I'm not a movie person. Some people are more drawn to movies or television shows, but there's not a single house in a television show or a movie I can think of that I would pay some sort of substantial premium to live in.
The house for you mentioned Home Alone. That house has been on, up for sale as well, and they're asking for a premium for that. But it's also a much bigger house, and it's in a suburb in Chicago, so they'll probably get the money that they're asking for. We're going to get you updated with your news coming up. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
One last step. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Lawmakers will certify the presidential election today.
This is the last step in the presidential election. Vice President Harris presides over the meeting of both the House and Senate in her capacity as president of the Senate. The certification goes on despite Washington, D.C. receiving about a foot of snow today. A quorum of lawmakers is required to conduct business. Lawmakers could potentially object to individual slates of electors like in 2021, but that's not expected.
Fox's Chad Pergram. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is resigning. Trudeau announcing that decision in the last hour. He plans to stay on as Prime Minister, though, until a new PM is chosen. Trudeau has served as Canada's Prime Minister since 2015. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WYBC.com.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Final deadline to enroll is January 15th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
B is offering 1 bath remodel for as low as $99 a month, or get 2 bath remodels for as low as $249 a month. Call now to schedule that free in-home design consultation.
Amber and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Hannah complained of a headache. It was a rhabdomyosarcoma. Within a few days, Hannah was in treatment because we were told that the tumor was very aggressive. And it very quickly became clear that St. Jude was the ultimate place to be. So we've essentially put our lives in South Africa on hold. Incredibly blessed to be here. St. Jude is an asset to the world. The research that is developed here is offered freely to the rest of the medical world. The entire way that the place operates is just to give and to care. I think it's the kind of place that not only stands as a beacon for pediatric cancer, but I think it could teach the world a couple of lessons about how to treat people. And I think if those lessons could be learned, even in their most basic form, this world could be a better place.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Your mortgage payments. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling is a nonprofit organization that has helped consumers in situations just like yours for more than 60 years. Our certified housing specialists will work with you to review your finances and create a custom plan that's right for your specific situation. NFCC member agencies provide free and affordable help and meet U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development standards. Call 866-687-6322 or visit mortgagehelpnow.org.
Are you ready to take control of your safety? Premier Arms is the place to consider, and they're more than just a gun store. Premier Arms is a community for empowered women dedicated to helping you find the perfect firearm. Hey, it's Casey Daniels. That's how I felt when I shopped at Premier Arms. I asked them a lot of questions, and they treated me with respect. Premier Arms is in Brownsburg. They're also online at premierarms.com. Their phone number, 317-858-3030.
Dads happen.
There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
My grades were bad. I would get D's and C's.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
I mean, it was just rough focusing on school when your mother is somebody you have to take care of. It got worse and worse and worse throughout the years.
There are students who need somebody.
They can trust someone, and it could be the first person they've ever trusted in their life.
Communities in Schools is lowering America's dropout rate by helping more than 1.3 million kids every year get whatever they need to succeed in school.
If something was going on at home, we would go just stop by Miss Liberty's office and talk to her.
Communities in Schools vouched for me when everyone else had lost hope.
You can help change the picture of education right here in your community and across the nation. Visit communitiesInschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
Justin Trudeau of Canada announced that he intends to resign as the leader of Canada's ruling party. He's going to step down as prime minister. He says once a new leader of the Liberal Party is in place, however, that may not actually happen because by all accounts, they're going to select a conservative leader. But his departure comes amid lots of pressure for him to step aside before the upcoming election. And a lot of it has to do with how he's being bullied around by Donald Trump, or some people would say not being bullied around, but being pressured by Donald Trump. Trump saying that he wants to make Canada the 51st state. So will it be a conservative leader in Canada, or will they elect another liberal person?
Casey, isn't the broader question, how do people like this get elected? Do we ever ask ourselves in our society, and we can look to Canada, obviously, and this will be big news for a while, that it's a huge worldwide story that he's leaving. But look at here in America, the similar people to Trudeau. Just look here in the city of Indianapolis and Joe Hogsett. Do we ever actually stop and ask ourselves, how do people like this convince the public at large, or convince their fellow, electors in some cases at large, that they're the best? Why do we have such a crisis of leadership in our country, in our state, in our city, around the world? Why do people not demand better?
It's a good question. You could, in the case of Indianapolis, perhaps there's two things. One, apathy. The second one, name recognition, right? People just, okay, good enough. I'll just select him. That's who I know. That's who I'm familiar with, regardless of the results. In Trudeau's case, he's been a leader for 11 years in his party. He's been prime minister in the country for 9. So could it be the same situation?
Well, that's the broader conversation. It's a crisis of leadership around the world. And look, Canada's a different animal than America, and they obviously have a long-standing history of having a more liberal society with far more liberal policies than we tend to have. But I think it's the bigger conversation, and the one that affects us closer to home, is why do these types of people, who clearly aren't very good at their job, they're not producing results, they're alienating the population. I mean, think about these things that Justin Trudeau went out of his way to do that deliberately and needlessly, in some cases, alienated voters. And I think we saw that here, or have seen that here, in the city of Indianapolis. To some extent, we saw that from the governor's office the past 8 years in the state of Indiana. And yet, overwhelmingly, whether it's in our country at a state level or a local level or a federal level, the re-election rate is overwhelming. And I got to tell you, I've been at this for 8 years on this radio station now. I don't know how to break this with people. Everybody complains, but then they keep electing the same people, and it's that, well, it's everybody else's problem. It's not my guy or my girl's problem. No, it is. It's all of our problems, because everybody's basically a big giant screw up.
So were you surprised that Mike Johnson was chosen to be Speaker of the House, that he actually got the votes after 2 Republicans switched their votes at the last second of the first round, and he got through.
So we got into the vote actually happened after we got off the air on Friday. And so we were talking about the lead up to this. I think this should be concerning to every single American. And Spanglish and I had a spirited back and forth on this. Jerry and I went back and forth because Jerry said, well, people want Johnson to be in there because Trump wants Johnson and we should give Trump what he wants. And I responded to that by saying, but people voted for change in this country. They voted to fix inflation. They voted to fix the border. They voted to rectify these issues that Mike Johnson and the Republicans, the power structure of the Republicans, have been in charge of for the past 2 years as the House of Representatives. They control the money, and they've done nothing, which is it fits the pattern and the blueprint for how the Republicans have governed since the late 90s, which is to make all these promises, don't deliver on them, get voted out of office, and then say, well, we've learned our lesson, put us back in, we'll do it again. I don't think people voted for the same thing again, and there's nothing in Mike Johnson's background or his leadership style or anything that would show you he would be much different, certainly on the key issues like inflation or government spending, than he's been before. And so I'd be curious where you're at on this, because Jerry said, well, people voted for Trump, give Trump whatever he wants. I say people voted for change, and you're electing the status quo that'll keep doing the same stuff. Where are you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of where Jerry was, because Donald Trump endorsed him and said, no, this is our guy. But did he endorse him because it was the best of the worst? Is that why he did it? Or, I don't know what Donald Trump's reasoning was for it. I find it shocking that the 2 Republicans who were the holdout members, they only relented for 45 minutes. So it's like they really didn't stand their ground very long. It took them less than an hour to give in. And while, you had a lot of members of the Freedom Caucus, they sent a letter, expressing all their reservations about him and his track record, like you mentioned. But then they turned around and they all said, yeah, okay, anyway. So why did they all do it? Was it for Donald Trump? Was it because...
they're petrified of Donald Trump. No doubt about it. They do not want to get on the wrong side of Donald Trump, which is a really scary thing, because Donald Trump, while he's done some very good things, he's wrong about a lot. He was wrong about a lot in his first presidency. Now, was he infinitely better than Joe Biden? Yes, but that's a pretty low bar, to hop over. And the problem is the House is supposed to be a check and balance on the executive branch. See, this is what people miss out on. The House and Senate are not supposed to be teammates with the executive branch. There's supposed to be a check and balance on the executive branch, and we are all team sport now. And look, Mike Johnson did nothing over the past year that would lead you to believe that he is remotely serious, or that a Republican House of Representatives that he is overseeing is remotely serious about getting the spending under control, getting the wasteful government under control, and about reining in inflation. And don't forget, Trump also endorsed Kevin McCarthy. So let's not act like Trump has some great track record of picking all the winners and all the best. I just think we're going to get more of the same. I think you'll get some of the stuff that Trump wants, and that's what Trump's all about. But if you think that Mike Johnson and this current crop of Republicans is going to do the most basic of stuff to get things under control that need to happen to fix prices, you're dreaming. You're dreaming. So I hope people are happy with the status quo, because that's what you're going to continue to get.
There's going to be some changes at the Indianapolis International Airport, and that includes some new flights. Did you hear about this? Southwest Airlines is adding a daily nonstop flight from Indianapolis to Nashville. This is going to start on March 6th. Rob, you get up in the air, you're going to get right back down. That doesn't seem like it would be a very long flight at all.
Okay, so this is a question for you, Casey, because I'm not a flyer, and this would be the concern that I would have. Okay, so by the time, what's it take to check into an airport now? What? Give me a if all goes well, give me a time.
Yeah,
frame.
well, they say you're supposed to get there for 2 hours before your flight so you can board. Really depends on how crowded it is. Security, an hour and a half.
Okay. Okay, so let's aim high and say an hour and a half, and I'm putting in my trusty cellular telephone here. I'm going to see how long it takes me to get to Nashville.
To drive?
Now we're talking, yes, Nashville,
6 hours?
Tennessee, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 hours and 32 minutes is what this says.
Okay.
4 hours and 32 minutes. So by the time you get up, you get ready, you pack all your stuff. Let's say that's 30 minutes. Takes you, depending on where you're at, that's, obviously it's shorter for some than others. Another 30 minutes to drive to the airport. Now you're an hour in. Now, as you said, Casey, from the moment you try to check in, it's an hour and a half. So now we're 2 hours and 30 minutes in. Then you sit. You always sit on the airplane. There's another 30 minutes. Then you got to get off. You got to get your stuff. Are you really saving any time potentially by doing on this? It seems to me it would be easier, a much more enjoyable trip. You can eat what you want. You can get out and go to the bathroom when you want. You don't have weirdos next to you. I don't see how this is saving people a lot of time, but maybe some flying experts would be willing to refute that.
Yeah, and then you also have to consider all the parking and the cost of the parking that you're, going to be spending not only when you park your car here, but also at the other end as well. You're going to need.
You ever left a car at the airport?
Oh, yeah.
For any length of time?
Well, what do you mean? Yeah. If I've flown somewhere, sure, I've parked it there. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
What's it cost? What does it cost to leave a car at the airport?
Well, you can get up to $40 a day. It really depends on the airport, too.
What?
Yeah.
A day?
Yes. Long-term parking, for sure. It's expensive. So I'm saying,
car's not even worth $40 a day. Just take it.
Right. I'm not parking it. I'm abandoning it. So another flight, which will be nonstop, Frontier Airlines is going from here to Tampa, and then you've got from here to Atlanta as well. And Allegiant Air is going to be doing some nonstop flights to Portland, Oregon. Now there's a long flight for you, Rob. And Delta is going to launch a new nonstop flight between Indianapolis and Austin, Texas, coming up in May. And then there's the other one that's very similar to the Southwest flight from Indy to Nashville. They're also doing nonstop flights to Chicago, Midway Airport. It's the same thing. There must be a lot of business travelers that are doing this because they're going to be doing this twice daily service starting on August 5th. But that's the same situation. As soon as you get up in the air, you're getting back down, right? I guess maybe one thing that is advantageous about this is you're going to not have to deal with Chicago traffic until you leave the Midway Airport.
Yeah, okay, so this is, here's another thing, though. So you mentioned the Nashville stuff or the Chicago stuff. You'd have to rent an Uber or a car of some sort once you're at the facility.
Yeah.
You got, obviously, you mentioned park your car, but then you'd also have to rent a car or an Uber.
On the other end.
I don't know what an Uber... Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like you're saving any time or money. You're just creating a bunch of hassle for yourself. Plus, you have to be on a death tube where anything could happen at any given moment, Casey. This seems like it offers me absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I get it. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show. Man, what a weekend. The latest on the weather, the biggest stories in Indy, and it's Monday Gun Day. 93 WIBC.
The holidays are over, and the new year is here, making it the perfect time to think about the future. More specifically, it's the perfect time to think about your financial future. Right now, Howard Bailey Financial is offering a free retirement toolkit, a comprehensive guide designed to help you plan, save, and jumpstart the retirement you deserve. To get your free copy today, text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 and download your free retirement toolkit. Start 2025 off with a gift to yourself, filled with all the tools you need to plan for a positive and purpose-filled future. Just text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Make this new year your year to invest in yourself and secure a brighter tomorrow, starting today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob from my friends at Life Church, and we talk about all the time the amazing impact Life Church has had on my life and my family's life. And one of the things we really love about Life Church is the quality of their online services. yesterday was the perfect day for that. You had all that inclement weather coming in. Wasn't sure if we wanted to get out. Life Church has you taken care of. Now, Life Church has campuses all across central Indiana, so if you want to go, they make it easy for you. Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. But they do have those amazing online services, and you got everything to win and nothing to lose by checking out Life Church. Learn more about it all for yourself on the web. LifeChurchIN.com, LifeChurchIN.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text DANDY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text DANDY to 42424. That's DANDY to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Dads happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Dent Removal.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Would you like fries with that? Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, Rob, you just tweeted out about an hour ago that you're told Senator Travis Holdman will carry Mike Braun's property tax reform bill in the Senate, which is where it will start. That sounds very promising to me.
Yeah, last week I was told that it was going to emanate in the Senate, and then I tried to strong-arm the person into telling me who was going to carry the bill, and they wouldn't tell me, and I am, if nothing, persistent, and I finally found out today, I'm told, that Travis Holdman has been a longtime senator, state of Indiana, will carry Braun's property tax bill. We'll see exactly how it looks. I was told that it's going to have all the stuff in it, the reset and the cap on rate growth or bill growth, and so it'll basically be
exactly what he announced here on the show.
That's what I was told. Now, I am also told by a pretty reliable source that there is going to be an all-out offense from the people who support Braun's property tax plan. They are going to talk about what the bill's actually going to cost, which is very good. They're going to lay out how much it will actually cost, but they're also going to lay out how much money local governments are sitting on. The billions upon billions of dollars that our local governments in the state of Indiana are sitting on, and how they can definitely afford to do this without cutting policemen or firemen or teachers or whatever. And so we'll see exactly how it looks, and we won't cash any chips in until the bill's actually been presented, but was told that, and so we'll see what happens from here.
Okay, sounds good. So morning rituals of tech billionaires, they swear, have led to their success. Ooh, I don't know what your wake-up routine is. I'm assuming it's just grab your Pepsi and run out the door after a quick shower. But these tech billionaires, they say that the key to their success is prioritizing exercise, emails, and caffeines, and that their morning routines emphasize productivity, intentionality, and also self-care. So I thought it might be fun to review what a few of these people do, which helps them make their billions and billions of dollars.
Oh, how exciting.
For example, Jeff Bezos. He wakes up with an alarm clock. Don't most people? That's interesting. He enjoys... well, whatever. He enjoys coffee, and then he reads the newspapers. But his breakfast includes octopus. Yeah. He eats octopus for breakfast. Then he goes on a morning walk, and he doesn't look at his phone for 30 minutes. Now, okay, that's the exact opposite of what I'm going to tell you about what Elon Musk does. I have to imagine, do you check your phone right away when you get up? Because I've heard both sides. Some people say, yep, right away. Some people say, no, not until I'm awake for a while.
No, here's my routine. Are you ready for it, Casey? I do almost the same thing every morning. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First thing I do, I go in, I wake up when my daughter wakes up, I change her diaper, I change her clothes if necessary, then I bring her into the living room, I feed her, and then after which my wife is up, we go do her hair, and then we get her clothes on, and then my wife is out the door and takes my daughter to daycare, and then at that point, I am leaving the house to come see you. I would say in that time, maybe once or twice I actually check my phone. Why? Because what's going to happen in the middle of the night to me that I need to check my phone for? What some idiot's going to tweet hate at me on Twitter? I mean, come on, what am I missing? What am I missing?
You can get that notification when you get here to the station. Well, Elon Musk, he says that he wakes up around 7 a.m. and he checks his phone for updates right away. Sometimes he will skip breakfast and he eats a donut even. He says that he values showering as the most important part of his morning routine, that he keeps mornings simple and dives right into important emails and tasks early.
There was a time in my life, Casey, where lots of fun, interesting things could happen to and around me in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. I am way past. Nothing good is going to come out of the middle of the night. So whatever message I'm going to get, I can wait to see it because it's not like someone's offering me anything I'm going to want to see.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg says that he doesn't get up until 8 a.m. And the first thing that he does is, can you guess? Yeah. He checks social media, and then he works out, and he focuses on simplifying his wardrobe because he wants to conserve his mental energy, not having to stress about what he's going to wear, and he just eats whatever he wants after a workout.
Hey, I'll see you tomorrow, Casey.
Are you sure? You actually going to come in?
I'll be here.
Okay.
I'll be here tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for listening today. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
You okay?
I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Get ready for a hard-hitting Central Division matchup.
McConnell has it up the floor to Toppin with a right-hand slam.
Two rivals lock horns when the Pacers and Bulls square off at Gamebridge Fieldhouse.
Nembhard, he drives through traffic and lays it in, coming in from the left side.
Oh, it's a beautiful early attack there by Nembhard.
This high-65 rivalry is a can't-miss game. Catch your Pacers and the Bulls Wednesday at 7. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers Bulls, Wednesday at 7. Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indy. Darren Andrews, clinic director, is here to tell us more.
The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Grow your hair back today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your evaluation. 317-522-2995.
Book your custom patio project before March 1st and save up to $2,500. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up. People are just going too fast, and that's what it comes down to.
So we're going to be prioritizing the city's thoroughfares. Can't even rule out maybe sub-zero temperatures.
I intend to resign.
Holcomb's term as governor ends next Monday.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
Car accidents and injuries. The snow is moving out of Indianapolis to the southeast, and it's 23 degrees at Monument Circle. Your high today, 27. I'm Ryan Head.